All right, you thought this was Making Star Wars show? You were wrong. We've been taken over by bait and switch, and we're backwards, man. What's going on? This whole country's upside down. This whole country is upside down right now.
Also, make sure you buy my dick pills, everybody. Something gotta feed them. Gotta fund the war.
Gotta fund the war. Gotta fund the war.
And the lens flares. Fund the lens flares, people. These lens flares ain't paying for themselves, you know.
So, anyways, it turns out we can't switch themes on the show without switching, losing all the videos and everything. Good job.
Ooh.
Good job. Yeah, but here we are. But that's America, and we're here to fight for it today. We are not going to allow there to be a great replacement. I can't even do it. I can't even do it. I want to commit to it, and I can't.
It's ridiculous. We can't.
But
can't do it.
Yeah. So we released a video this week that details all of the spoilers from Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi, and in it you can see the great bait and switch that's going on here, man. Hold on, I gotta fix this, man. I gotta make this back to America. There we go. America is right again.
Though, man, honestly, I like it better the other way. Even though our names are wrong, because when I look now, it looks like I'm looking at you. Bait and switch.
Nope.
Bait, you're getting switch and bait.
All right.
So. Can we do this? We can't do it.
We did it. Woo! America, we're doing anything here. No, yeah. So anyways, we put it out, and that video, and the video I think really lays out the fact that like the bait and switch stuff is all complete bullshit. But you know, it was kind of weird. We had a bad weekend here in the States, to say the least.
It was. I got bait and switched this weekend. I don't know about you, but I went and watched some Star Wars where they replaced the main character with a woman, and completely ruined the OT and PT canon. It's called this cartoon called Clone Wars. It features this character named Ahsoka. And dude, bro, ain't nowhere in them fucking movies. I don't know if George Lucas and them watch their own movies. I don't think they do. But they never mention her in Revenge of the Sith. Anakin had a Padawan? It's ridiculous.
Dave Filoni, you know, he fucking fooled me, man.
Lucas and Filoni, yeah. They're just breaking their own fucking canon, man. It's fucking
I mean, I rationalized it when he called her Sky Guy. She called him Sky Guy, and I said the sky's blue and the American flag has blue on it, and that's cool. You know what I mean? That was
broke, dude.
But you know what? But you're right. It was pretty woke, because that 13-year-old Mary Sue, she was running up and down the streets, destroying the Christophersis, and just making a whole new movie out of Star Wars that I didn't even want to see. And now here we are.
Jason, it's being we're doing a new special edition, and it's going to be called Skywalker. Actually,
Skywalker with the Skywalkers,
the Skywalker trilogy. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Why Disney? Why Disney? Why? Why are you doing this?
Anytime someone comes up, look, I don't know if the show's gonna be good. Jason, he
I do know, and if you give me $5 super chat, I will let you know whatever keeps making you give me $5 super chats.
Hold on, I give you $5 every month. Let me get another $5.
Yeah, please. Oh, so I'm gonna tell you, oh man, it's getting really bad out there. They're making it really, really, really woke. Obi-Wan Kenobi's barely in the series now. He lives in a cave, and he doesn't come out of the cave. He stays in the cave the whole time.
He's on the Taliban lives in the caves. They're putting a white man in the cave. Ridiculous.
Right.
That's just Gandalf.
And I'm going to tell you something. I saw some behind the scene. I seen some behind the scene pictures, and they put a little white boy in an igloo. You ever seen a little white boy living in an igloo? I ain't ever seen that in America.
Look, Jason, I'm not saying. Look, I kind of sometimes I talk about Marvel. Sometimes I talk about Star Wars. And I'm just saying that, you know, I mean, I'm not saying it. Some people are saying maybe they're checking off something off a list, that they got a list, and they go, I got to put I don't want these characters. I got my own characters. And the list says, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I've lost. Send me super chats. The list says send me super chats. Super chats.
Give me a super chat. I want to show you guys right here. Our number one source for all space news is foxnews.com. The
Oh,
Star
no.
Trek writers take Starship Enterprise where it's never gone before. Woke politics. And this is by David Marcus, who wrote a very, very great book about how COVID is a lie. And now he knows the truth about Star Trek. There's no
look, he's got gold doors. That used to be totally Trump, right? that is Trump, right?
Well,
That's what
if you notice, they got rid of the only orange motherfucker in the galaxy who could have been in Kenobi. That's Jar Jar Binks. He's not in it. They're keeping orange people out of it now. Since it's
that was a woke agenda. The Gungans were never real.
The Gungans. Did I just say French had a myriad of iterations? Blah, 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 blah. The first blatant example of electioneering on Star Trek Discovery.
That's what Disney does. They got Imagineers and electioneers.
Was a cameo by current and former Georgia gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams, as none other than that of the president of the Federation of Planets. The second was a weird plot twist.
Hold on, Jason. I'm telling you right now, I will eat his ass. I will do it.
Listen, man, I'm the only one on this show who knows how to read. Can you just let me read this part, man? Strange New Worlds, in which the 2020 Capitol riot is depicted and blamed for starting a second American Civil War. So they're getting really mad about Star Trek. I don't really follow Star Trek.
Never been part of that. That's always been part of Star Trek canon, by the way. It's supposed to happen in 1996 or 7 or something. It's in Deep Space Nine. They go back. It's nothing fucking new. But okay, all right, sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, but they're really going on about the Star Trek bullshit. And you know, it gets into a little bit of like, I think this one is this the one that got into the Star. I thought this was the one that got into the Star Wars shit a little bit. Oh yeah, this is part of a broader galaxy of problems, as we recently saw with Disney, which owns Star Wars, going to battle with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. The central confusion here is the difference between showing broad support of things like basic civil rights and openly. Is it Rod?
It was Ron.
That's what I thought too, but Rod.
Okay.
Rod DeSantis. That's Rod.
I get that shit all the time, man. When they go my name, they misspell my name Rob. And they misspell Rod. Yeah, happens all the idiots.
Right. All right. Well, we are joined by Lady Liberty herself right now. How's it going, Max? Lady Liberty here at MakingStarWars.net. Lady Liberty is speechless at what she has learned.
We need to get her an NES advantage.
Yeah,
just because that's a lot of every Lady Liberty has an NES advantage.
Well, back back then when the NES Advantage came out, things were a lot better for us here in America. You know, and that's why I pretty much only play anything before Nintendo DS. So
this can only mean one thing:
invasion. Max, I got something to tell you, Max. It can mean only one thing: invasion. And I think I'm going to give Max a minute, and then we'll bring her back. Maybe after she sheds that one tear for America and Obi-Wan Kenobi. So, anyways, yeah. So there is this like whole thing when you get down to it, and I'm making a joke about something serious at the same time, because like what you do have in mass media right now is, like, I was joking about it, but the great replacement theory, or what it should be called, white replacement theory, and that whole thing, it's a real thing that is being pushed, and it's being pushed in terms of things like pop culture, like what Fox News is doing right there. They're not outright saying it, but they're trying. That's what they are getting at in the grand scheme of things. And when you see people that are afraid of a black woman coming into their Star Wars and making it her show instead of Kenobi's show, what is that? Well, what the fuck is that? It's a pop culture example of that exactly. But it's also interesting in that you don't see it around people like Moff Gideon. You don't see it around, other villains.
Right. Well, to be fair though, she had tentacles. She had tentacles and
big titties and big American titties. Tentacles, big American titties, maybe an American flag right here behind her,
and maybe a choker. I think everything would be all right.
Oh, you could be like, shut the fuck up! Americans are talking here. You'll never take our jobs.
That's unfair. There's chokers on all sides.
I saw them. Me with they put that choker on Princess Leia. There is chokers on both sides.
It's true.
That is fair. That is fair, Rod. Rod Switch.
Rod switch.
Rod
switch
switch.
baiting. I like switch baiting. I like it when they're mad. We switch the bait and switch. Like that is a joke too.
Switch.
We switch the bait and switch. Don't be bait and switch. Just switch and bait and stuff. Fuck, dude.
Yeah, no, and just to be clear, I'm not trying to say that anybody is a racist or anything like that, or at anybody specifically. What I am saying though is that you can play into a narrative on accident. You can see dollar signs and start chasing that ambulance and actually just become a proponent of it easily.
And that makes you just as bad. Because enraging people's hate and fears for monetary value makes you a villain. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not having an opinion about a show. We're not talking about that. There's no, how do I say this? Like I said at the beginning of the cast, like if you are for Ahsoka, if you are for Leia as Luke's sister, if you're for Qui-Gon, then breaking canon, quote unquote, doesn't exist. You're just playing into a hate narrative. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because that's it.
Right.
That's it. Yeah. Imagine if fucking if Samuel L. Jackson had been cast as Qui-Gon Jinn.
Oh my God.
You know
what are you saying to me right now?
Right. Could you imagine? Oh man.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, whoo. Jason, before I forget.
Yeah, go ahead.
I find it real funny, man, that these cats, like, they look at Obi-Wan as being their white knight, you know? Given that Obi-Wan was originally cast as they cast Toshiro Mifune as Obi-Wan.
Well, they didn't cast him. Lucas was considering it.
Lucas wanted. He offered it to Toshiro Mifune. That was who it went to. And Mr. Mifune was like, Mifune-san said, nope, already did that fucking role.
Yeah.
Now, to be honest, if Lucas had just paid him, he probably would have showed up because unfortunately, he had raging alcohol issues at the time. It's sad. It's sad. It got in the way of his work. But it's true. I mean, had Toshiro Mifune played Obi-Wan Kenobi in 1977 Star Wars, I just, like, a lot of this, not all of it, a lot of it goes away because they just wouldn't be siding with an Asian man like the way it would be.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. But the other thing,
misogyny is real though, so that's the other half of it. So sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, but the other thing to remember about this show is that when you do try to push the narrative that Obi-Wan Kenobi is being Kenobi erasure, whatever the fuck you want to call it, Ewan McGregor is the executive producer of the fucking show. You think he said, I'm going to be an executive producer on the show, but I'm going to let them erase me.
It'd be really nice if you replaced me.
Wait, that's Ringo. That's what Ringo said. That's what Ringo said.
Voice.
You're thinking, no, it's totally. That's when Ringo quit the Beatles.
With the white guy, it's okay. No,
that's okay. That's when Paul played drums and he went and wrote Octopus's Garden. Completely different.
I faulted. So you should know.
Ewan McGregor is also an executive producer on Kenobi, so their white knight is partially response if it's woke in their eyes, but they'll never acknowledge that. No, they won't. I mean, they're
executive producers Antifa, so we got it's a both sides thing with this. Like,
yeah.
Nothing breaks canon more than Anakin Skywalker having a Padawan. Like, I cannot stress this more than anything else. That's it. You're not supposed to have a fucking student if you aren't a master. If he never becomes a master, he doesn't have a student. And when they go in and say in between two movies, he had a Padawan and it came and went. And then in the third movie, the live action film, we never fucking mention that. Nothing ever happens with it. You broke your canon in the prequel for certain. Midi-chlorians break canon. They break canon. Nowhere in 1977, Obi-Wan goes, I've been studying your midi-chlorian count, Luke. You know, it's fucking ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. And by the way, if fucking little Annie Skywalker knows what a laser sword is, a fucking 8-year-old slave on Tatooine, I'm just saying, folks, this isn't hard. You know, like this isn't hard.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into it. Lady Liberty, I can't see you. Did you see her? Or do you just see a black screen? Switch? do you see her, or do you just see a black screen?
I see a dark screen, yes.
Yeah, she ain't working. She ain't working. I don't know what it is, but today Lady
She needs
Liberty
to
ain't working.
Use her data. She needs to use her data plan. Sorry.
Yeah. Max, if you can
I
hear
enjoy
us,
Max's presence.
it's not working. Anyways, I wanted to go back to that comment though. I think I've lost it. Basically, wait, it was Louis Tully. Remember when they punched Rick Moranis? That was fucked up, man. I hope whoever did
that
that's
broke
getting.
my heart. Yeah,
I was getting fucked up in prison right now.
No one should be getting fucked up in prison. Let's just be. You can't. Come on. Let's just.
Yeah. No, there isn't anything actually, anything I would say truly political about the Kenobi series that I can see, other than being anti-imperialism in general. And but at the end of the day, we need to ask ourselves who is embracing this narrative and contorting it and molesting it into being something that it's not. And I was the source material. I was the source of all of those. Some people have pretended that, my sources are hearing this too. Those people are fucking liars. And they didn't say a fucking thing about anything going this way.
I mean, all the comics are fucking canon now. Like, what? How does any of these comics not break canon? Like,
well, because if you watch, you can see that big giant Wookiee, the black Wookiee. Notice how they didn't make him a white Wookiee. Fucking Disney.
That's a Wampa. They live in the mountains.
Yeah, I mean, he and Boba had adventures together in the series. They might as well have fucking never seen each other. I mean, but I'm not trying to justify, two wrongs don't make a right in terms of canon, right? In terms of anything, two wrongs don't make a right. But like I said, and I'm going to joke about our American Constitution. Is it a living document, or do we all just go with what the founding fathers said? But this is a living canon, and with that kind of idea, we end up with this idea that things are going to be changing constantly. Like, you have to roll with it if you're going to stick with it. I mean, it's just true. If you want to see an Obi-Wan Kenobi series that takes place before A New Hope, it's going to push some dominoes down. And some dominoes are going to fall that it changed your conceptions. It is the nature of the beast. And if you can't hang with that, number one, what's wrong with you? And number two, just don't bother. Just fuck off.
And and Lucas already did this. He already did all of this stuff.
A lot
of
times.
He broke his canon all the fucking time, man. All the fucking time. Someone typed in, we'll get to it later, but someone was mentioning, Yoda says you can never come back from the dark side. I'm like, and Yoda was wrong. Vader came back from the dark side. Like, that doesn't,
well,
like, it is possible. Is it likely? No. Because why? Because Vader had a kid, and them Sith usually aren't procreating, right? They didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
But it is possible. I don't want to hear anything about it.
Well, aren't we kind of putting the carriage before the horse here too, in the sense that Leia's message to Obi-Wan Kenobi, in my opinion, is a bigger kind of like, oh, this doesn't sit necessarily well. Like, unless she doesn't know it's Obi-Wan Kenobi the whole time. She may think it's Ben the whole time. She may just never put it together until after Luke tells her. But even then,
tell everyone what you mean. That when Leia says you serve my father in the Clone Wars,
Obi-Wan Kenobi
did not serve Bail Organa in the Clone Wars.
No, he did. No, he did.
Senate.
He serves Bail Organa.
In your cartoon that broke canon.
And
right?
Yeah, and the cartoons and the novels. I mean,
and the cartoon broke canon left and right.
Bail Organa's picking them up. No, definitely he does.
Which Bail? The one on the trading card or the one in the movie?
That one wasn't canon.
It's two Bails.
They fucking changed it. That was Bell and Tilly. They fixed it. But
okay.
But her message to him, it would be like if I sent you a message and I was like, Rob, but you and I have hung out for literally hours. Like we know each other. She knows him. They travel across the world together. I mean, but Vader you have to say, what's more fun? What's more fun?
Vader building C-3PO breaks canon. Like, you're telling me 3 whole fucking movies, he doesn't go 3PO. Like, doesn't give they had to walk ways around that one, like that broke it. It doesn't matter. There's nothing new. There's nothing new about it.
I don't remember ever owning a droid before. And then meanwhile,
or I've never heard this fucking droid that I clearly fucking know. You know what I mean? Like, they have nomenclature. How many R2D is actually R2D2 is the most common name in the galaxy. It's like Smith for droids. A lot of them have it, and they, you know, that's oh shit, you know. Like, I mean, what are you supposed to do? Like, this is not new, man. It's nothing new. You don't have to like it. I'm not telling you to like it. I'm not saying I'm gonna like the show. What I'm saying is, welcome to fucking Star Wars 1983. Moving forward, you know, like.
Yeah, no,
it's not new.
It's true. Oh man, wait, we got hey, how's it going, Nose? I just hope they don't harass Moses Ingram, right? Yeah, you know,
thank you.
It was pretty funny because it wasn't funny, but when they harassed Kelly Marie Tran, I was pretty livid about it because she was just like the nicest fucking person in the world. Like, of all of the people to like go after and harass, she was just like, just nice. It was fucking like, it was
just doing her job.
Infuriating. Yeah, but it was also infuriating because she was just a nice fucking person. And like the quartering guy goes and says, Jason Ward is the one who did it. It was a liberal false flag operation. It's like, own your fucking shit. You know what I mean? Own your fucking shit. If you go and you preach one thing, if you believe one thing, if you encourage one thing, then fucking own the consequences of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
it's them not owning up. We own up what we believe in. Why do they lie? Where do they go? I'm not saying it may. I like someone who recently said on their show, I'm not saying it's a bait and switch or they replaced a character with the person of blah, 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 to fill a blank. I'm not saying it. I'm totally not saying it. You just said it, fucker. You just repeated it. It's literally called stochastic terrorism when you fuck. I'm not saying don't murder the guy. You know, like I'm not putting that one in your head while I clearly say it fucking 7 fucking times.
I'm not saying that they're trying to replace the white man, but are they trying to replace the white man? I'm just asking.
I mean, some people say, you know,
yeah,
some people say,
and to be clear,
canon.
Like
Boba Fett is as all the stormtroopers are Boba Fett's. Like, that don't break canon for you. Like
they definitely sounded like my white Uncle Charlie. I'll tell you that much. All right, Max, Lady Liberty. Are you?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I hope so, Max, because I think I could hear you. I think they are trying to silence you and not let your American voice be heard from the great state of Texas.
Fuck you. Not you.
How's it going, Max?
It's good. How are you?
I'm good. It's got one thing to say to you.
You will know it is time to turn the page when you hear R2-D2 beep. Like this.
Yeah.
Right? That's what he's got to do. I will eat that droid's ass.
Whoa.
What? I'm not saying I'll hang him and cut him up, string him up by a string, eat him, but I will.
You're just like Lando.
If I have to.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous. Man, you know how canon, forget canon breaking that the holiday special. How just dumb the Ewok movies were. Like, watching my uncle have to deal with Return of the Jedi and then watching him go through the Ewok movies. The dude was like, they're just taking away Star Wars. He used to cut people's arms off. It's just teddy bears and shit.
Listen, man. Look, man. Listen to me.
3 men into Ewoks.
All I want to say, I got something to say, and it's really important, man. When Mace Tawani came on the scene, he was white, but by episode 1, Mace was black. Consider that it has happened before, friends. And
Boba Fett was a white man, and then they replaced him with a man of color in the prequels.
Well, I mean, what's next? Dave Chappelle as Obi-Wan Kenobi? Come on, man. Come on.
I would watch that.
I know, me too. I would completely love it. It would be great. Actually, wouldn't it be great if Dave Chappelle was old Mace Windu, who was like really thin and like kind of like.
I want 1999's Dave Chappelle though. That was the one that you could,
Yeah.
Oh shit, and then runs right out the door, like gets the fuck out of town when Order 66 happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, all right. So let's look at a couple of comments before we get into something else.
Okay.
Hunter says, it's those type of YouTube channels that make me embarrassed to be a Star Wars fan sometimes. Fuck the Phantom Menace and their politics. Yeah, the Phantom Menace. You know, it became like a what's his name, the guy who sells the supplements and like blames the Sandy Hook parents for murdering their own kids. It went down. They
That's a great patriot. What are you talking
yeah.
about?
I mean, that's
Texas.
that's the end game for
From the
them.
woods.
General Kenobi being.
By the way, thank you, Hunter Biden. You're a great patriot.
I just want to know if he has any good porn on that laptop. General Kenobi says, being completely honest, I feel it's sad we're trashing a show we haven't just seen yet. It seems we're hell-bent on trying to burn down the thing we love. Can't wait
We're
to see how
definitely
this
going to
plays
trash
out.
the show. Let's just give it a couple weeks.
No, I mean,
you never know. Max will be nice. I can guarantee you that. She's the most level-headed.
Shut up.
You have the most level-headed fandom here.
I do. I know.
We already went through Boba Fett, which, you know, put me in the Rob hates all Star Wars.
No. I get it. I get it. It's a little odd show. I don't hate it. It's just a little odd.
Yeah, but Max, if you say something, Max will just be like, I got real fucking problems. Fuck off. Like,
I have a moon to look at outside.
Yeah.
No, I do think. I'm sorry, I didn't catch all. I was just messing with my computer and stuff while I was logging on, but I think that it's extremely ridiculous that people are still like bringing up the fact of forcing diversity and this bullshit. It's like, why do you have to bring that up? And it's like you're trying to fuck with people and you're trying to like stir shit up and bring out, you know.
Well, let me tell you, Max,
bullshit.
If you love forced diversity, send me a $5 super chat. If you hate forced diversity, send me a $10 super chat. We'll see at the end of the day what the audience, how the audience feels.
Meanwhile, rewind the clock, go back to 1977, and all the actual critics of Star Wars were complaining that it's a white person's only film.
Yeah.
Really?
Like, I read the reviews. I had the Leonard Maltin, the guide of reviews. You know, you go through all the films and read them. You get this big fucking book of shit. You know, as a kid, my uncles had it because they were the nerds, and I'd read the reviews of Star Wars. First thing I wanted to read, and it was, this is a white person's blah 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 blah. Like, this is, you know. Yeah. And so Lucas is like, I'll give him Lando, you know.
Well, and that was what David Prowse
fix everything.
David Prowse went and he was like, basically used to claim that they only got rid of his sexy voice to put a black person in the show. I was like, David Prowse, you suck. You will always suck.
I'm Darth Vader. I clearly I'm the voice. I stand here in the suit. Don't replace me with a black. Oh, damn it. You know, like, he sounds ridiculous, by the way.
Tibor says, if we have this shit show for a series about a white dude leaving his white homie's white son to save his white homie's white daughter, what will happen when the Acolyte comes out? Oh,
it's been delayed. That's why.
Yeah.
They're working on it.
They're working on it.
We have top men working on it.
It turned out there were too many straight white males in it, so they had to go and recast the whole show. We should start that rumor.
Yeah, well, Antifa's been busy fighting Russia, so you know what I mean. When they're done, they'll come back and work on the Acolyte script.
Right.
We gotta consult.
And Antifa, she's that girl from Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My Antifa.
Lasala says there are plenty of YouTubers who turn negativity into Star Wars fandom into their source of income. Well, I don't know what you're talking about, but if you agree, give me a $5 super chat. Tibor says,
I do agree with myself.
But it's not just YouTubers, not just Star Wars. People would sell their mom for money or driving shitty narratives, and that's what I hate about capitalism. I'm just not sure there's a better alternative. Yeah, that's a
about just
fair
ethics.
Point. Yeah,
you know, less corruption and having an ethical stance. You know.
Yeah. So. Yeah. No, it's true, and just because we're kind of making a lot of political jokes today, the ethics on both sides of the political spectrum and the Star Wars fandom basically do not fucking exist. There's just shitty people everywhere, and that goes without saying. But at the same time, we can't pretend like it's the left driving the Reva stuff overall. Like, that's just not the case.
You want to know what it's like to talk to some of my like real liberal Star Wars friends who
boring.
You know what they do? They go, raise nobody, raise nobody, raise nobody, and they won't fucking. That's all they do. Raise nobody. And then I go, well, what about the raise nobody? And I go, oh,
raise nobody.
I'm gonna go watch Knives Out. Peace. You know.
Tibor says, if the story is good. Oh, and Tibor, once again, thank you for being a channel member, and to everyone who's a channel member. It means a lot to my little black heart, which used to be a white heart until Disney replaced it. If the story is good, they can even retcon Baru's name to be Black Sun instead of White Sun. The story sucks. In the Book of Boba Fett, I couldn't care less about the fire spray shit being my favorite ship. Yeah.
Why had they dropped that narrative? I thought that was supposed to be with that, and Mr. Potato Head was their big fucking rallying cry for God knows how long. You know, like what happened? How come no one talks about it anymore? No one brings it up.
Nobody wants to talk about the price of potatoes with this inflation. Thanks, Biden.
It's relatively cheap.
Tibor says, in any case, like, commit, subscribe, join the cult, and let the wokeness flow through you. Thank you, Tibor, and I appreciate you once again. And Dale, my old buddy Dale. Then we must know a master Sifo-Dyas. Yeah.
Look, that movie breaks its own canon. Sidious, Sifo-Dyas are two different people. I know. It was either the worst codename or the dumbest idea. Now it's both. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, in the original leaked draft, he wrote Sido-Dyas. And then by the time we got to the final draft, it was in the film, it was Sifo-Dyas, and he had moved away from his concept.
He got married. It was just Sifo, and then he married John Diaz.
Well, it's like, but once again, I mean, if you have to hold on to your old ideals continually to consume new media, just don't consume new media because it's never going to work for you. But also pay attention to the people that it's not working for, and ask yourself what has worked for them. Why the fuck would you expect the next thing to work for them when nothing before ever has?
Remember that when you begged me to watch the Clone Wars cartoon.
You're going to watch the Clone Wars cartoon. You're going to fucking like it.
Just remember that.
No, with the Clone Wars, you're going to one day you're going to watch it. You're going to be like, that was some of the best shit. What the fuck was that? That was some of the best shit. What the fuck was that? I mean, that's what it is. It's an anthology series.
Canon. You just have to roll with it.
Well, no, I'm even gonna roll back the canon thing, and for them and us. It's not breaking canon because it's not history. It's literally adding to a story. That's not breaking canon. It's circumventing your expectations.
It took place a long time ago, Jason. What are you talking about?
That's true.
Clearly, it's history.
That does make it historical. It's historically grounded. But I mean, it. Yeah, I mean, oh my god. Marvel Mania became a channel member. Thank you, Marvel Mania, for becoming a channel member.
By the way, my friends who hate Doctor Strange, sorry, it just like made $688 million. I guess it's not gonna fail.
I didn't like the first movie, but I am interested in seeing Doctor Strange, the new one. I just haven't seen it yet.
Already made more than the first film.
Yeah, it made a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
Luis asked, is Celebration going to be a letdown? All focus is on Kenobi. That's my only concern at this point. I got to be honest with you, man. Like I hear things about what's going to happen at Celebration, and it's something that's really hard to verify because the ways that things from Celebration come out is always uniquely different. Well, it's uniquely different to the social body of people that are participating in that celebration versus previous ones and so on. So it's always a little bit like I don't know, but I think you would probably be best served to lower your expectations. Like you'll see a lot of people that are like, oh, I know they're gonna announce whatever happens to be that makes me super happy, and that's probably not gonna happen. I mean, it's just
like if you ever went to dinner with me, lower expectations.
Lower your expectations.
Remember that time they paid Larry David to go to a lunch for $4,000, and he shows up to the table. It was like a raffle, like they bought him like a slave. And he shows up and he just starts talking about stupid shit.
He was a Hut Slayer. Go on, continue.
Yes.
Hut Slayer, Larry David.
Yeah, Whoa, shit.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
He is. He's a Hut Slayer.
Slayer.
Anyways, whatever.
But so he just walked away. He was like, thanks, and walked away.
No, he just walked. He tried too hard. It's like, So he's sitting there trying to make a joke out of everything, and the guy's clearly just trying to have a normal conversation.
Oh, okay.
So it's second season, 5th episode. Go watch.
Okay, yeah. I need to go. I need to watch some of the earlier ones. At this point, all I remember from the first season is the pants that stick up.
His wife the actress is what, anti-COVID, so it's fun watching it now from that lens.
Is she, or is it just her
Yeah,
husband?
she came out. No, she came out
okay.
defending him. So what am I supposed to do? You know?
She came out of the
If
closet.
you defend him,
Yeah.
if only.
Lewis
Not a bad
Tully
looking
says from Ghostbusters says the end of the series sounds canon breaking. It's completely,
The entire Clone Wars are canon breaking.
no, but like I said, we need to
Inquisitors?
not but here's the thing is, no, we're not just trying to, two wrongs don't make a right. If that's wrong, if that's canon, it's not canon breaking. Your definition of canon is completely just doesn't apply here.
Inconsistent.
Luke Skywalker, look. Okay, hey. Want to ask me what this is?
What is that?
What's that? Oh, it's called lens cleaner. Have you ever heard of it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you asked me what it was because I just pulled it out of this box here, and you were wondering what Luke goes, what's that? when he pulls out the lightsaber, and then he knows what the Clone Wars are. So here's another thing. I mean, or it's already that is that canon breaking that Luke doesn't know what a lightsaber is, but knows what the Clone Wars are. We're already having to do mental gymnastics to make sense of that when every single thing we've ever seen from the Clone Wars are two Jedis with lightsabers with a bunch of guys in white behind them. Uh-oh, that sounds bad. But you know what I mean? Like following them and so it's like Luke Skywalker would reasonably know what the Jedi were. Obi-Wan's speech recontextualized by the Clone Wars is, you know what? Under this age of imperialism, I'm going to set the fucking record straight. Jedi were guardians of peace. We're the guardians of peace and justice for, you know what I mean? Like he's like laying out what they are because Luke may have heard, oh, the Jedi, and Uncle Owen says, I hate those guys. So it's like it's one of those things. Does it break canon or does it break your conception of what the scene originally meant? And we live in the real world. The scene originally didn't mean that. Now it means something else. That's not canon breaking. That's literally the story being added to.
But let's not forget, he also shows him the fucking hologram of his sister. And not once Kenobi goes, well, that's your twin sister. You make sure you don't try to bone her when we rescue the fucking princess you're lusting over. Clearly, you got a hard on for her. You know what I mean? Never once, because we were on the Death Star, maybe a little bit later, he goes, hey, Luke, by the way, you may not want to tap that, you know?
I have to be honest. He's like, his dad pulled Padme. I figured he could do a little bit better. I didn't think he'd try for it. No, I'm scared. I'm kidding.
You know? You knew my father? What about my mother? Never bring it up, you know?
Yeah. I mean, there are, once again, you can say it breaks canon, but canon is just defined by the creatives and what they say goes when you get down to it. And this George Lucas idea, once again, was continually making it up as he went. Erasing old ideas, adding to them, reconfiguring them. Now Anakin has a Padawan. Princess Leia
breaks canon.
Princess Leia in Return of the Jedi still fucking says that she remembers her mother, her real mother. She doesn't. She can't. You know why? She's fucking dead before it.
When they hang out. When they hang out. But that's what I'm just saying. Like, I'm not saying like or love the show. Fucking, we haven't seen it.
I don't know.
What I'm saying is, you guys are fucking nuts if you think this shit is new, you know. And what's crazy is what breaks my heart, Jason, the most is they're such liars because they each say, "Now I'm done with Star Wars." You were supposed to quit after The Last Jedi. We shouldn't even be having this conversation.
Stop promising things that you don't deliver on.
They're never gonna leave. Like Azatru was trying to on the stream there. Azatru was saying that he had to go and defend some stuff. I'm like, don't, because they're never gonna leave. They're gonna claim they're gonna quit, or they're not gonna watch it. They're gonna go and watch it. There's no fucking way these people sit around hearing about a Star Wars show that's readily available or a movie and not watch it. They're gonna go watch it.
Yeah,
they're liars.
Well, see, Luke, and this is where we move more into the current story and iteration of Star Wars. Luke Skywalker and Anakin Skywalker, not much of healers, as it would turn out. But when you look at the most popular Star Wars, Mandalorian of recent times, little
Yoda,
little Grogu, who doesn't even remember his training at this point, is fucking healing Action Jackson on the battlefield. And
one could argue, if they wanted to, one could argue if they wanted to that Qui-Gon was doing a little bit of that for himself when they were fighting Darth Maul, when he kneels and meditates.
Yeah.
Because Obi-Wan ain't meditating to get his shit up. You know what I mean? No one know it. We never see any other Jedi Master ever fucking in the movies sit down and meditate before a big fight. So one could say if he was part of the living force and he practiced that, this is where Lucas missed the opportunity, right? To really show the difference between the Jedi that followed the living force and that followed the other version of the force, the fucking prophecy dudes, you know?
Well, here, Luke asked about any updates on the rating. Here in the US of A, it's a TV 14. And you can see that if you go on Disney Plus and you go to the Kenobi launch page, which doesn't have the episodes yet, you will see it says that it's TV 14. So in my opinion is it's either already been rated, or if it hasn't, they're going for TV 14 and the final edit will do whatever it takes to make it TV 14, which is, I think, pretty reasonable and to be expected. Revenge of the Sith is PG-13, so it actually could go further than Revenge of the Sith if they wanted to based on that rating. How's it going, EJ? Thanks for joining us today. Del, you super villain? No. The Crawling Chaos says, my ass is so woke, I need to wear a MAGA hat to achieve balance.
It's those big brims they have, right? Like it's just going to keep you centered.
Yeah. Desalis, I'm disappointed by this stream. Apparently, Sketch Guy is the main character. So woke, bait and switch.
Just switch and bait. Switch bait.
Switch and bait. Switch and bait is a Chinese knockoff.
I love that.
So I guess you left. You had a pretty epic rant on your sketch stream. I've heard a little.
I'm
bit
always
about.
Raging about some.
So who knows? Shit. So who knows what the fuck? It might have been about Taco Bell.
It could have been about anything. Like, yeah, I once did like a 6 hour. It drove people away, and I was glad to do it. Just complaining about like fucking comics paper stocks. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's tissue paper, and they charge you $8 for this shit. It's ridiculous.
James says these people don't understand nuance. There has been bad writing in the past, but the grifters don't understand you can have diversity without making it cringe. And that's one of the things that like I find myself oftentimes on the opposite side of them, but that they don't understand my side of it is if it was truly like, you know what, let's just get rid of this character and make that person whatever race you want it to be for whatever fucking, checkboxing reason. I think that would be really weak. I think that would be weak and ultimately a disservice to everyone involved. But the reality of the situation is that it, for the most part, like when Finn was cast, got a ton of fucking racist shit sent my way because there was a black stormtrooper. At the end of the day, I was like, it's pretty silly because the parameters of the role, really, you could really literally put anybody who is basically an effective actor in the part. It's not like this. It's not like Star Wars roles get up in here and we need who's that guy who played Lincoln? What's his name?
Liam Neeson?
No, not Liam Neeson.
What?
Liam
The Spielberg movie. What
that's not Liam Neeson. That's Schindler.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis. Like you don't need like anybody who goes and thinks that like Rey and Finn were going to be fucking need Daniel Day-Lewis is fucking high. Like always. And so when you get down to it, everyone's like, I just want the best person for the role. Well, you know what? Like the best person for the role, there's about 50,000 people because of the level of acting that the role actually requires.
Then why did they ever hire fucking Cara Dune? What's her face?
Yeah,
because clearly they could have found any woman who could have acted better than that. Like right. I'll show fucking literally before she died, Joni Lauder, fucking China, was a better actress than that fucking broad, dude. Like not by a million miles. Like this is so dumb. Like that I know that's just some stupid talking point that they like to bring up. Makes no sense. Oh,
and thank you, Mr. Boomer, for the £5 super chat. I appreciate it a lot, dude. And thank you for being a channel member too. Like extra support. Big support to you guys. It is mad that in 2022 Ewan is back as Obi-Wan and David Tennant is Doctor Who again. Is it 2022 or 2005? Oh, David Tennant's back as Doctor Who?
Cameo, side role something. Russell Davies is back, show running the show.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. I really like the cast from the series with what's her face, Whitaker. The writing was bad. Great cinematography. It was just real. I tried, man. Great.
Okay.
Anyway, they got a new Doctor Who, but they did say that Dead and Donna are coming back for something. He says, "Is it a parallel universe? Is it a one-off?" They won't say what it's for, but I've been hearing that, by the way, from some friends of mine who are in the UK for a while now, so that wasn't news to me, but good to know.
Wizards all haven't been here in a couple of years, and for a second I thought Jason turned into one of them.
So wizard.
Yeah, Kathleen Kennedy is getting fired for the show that she produced with Ewan McGregor.
I know.
By Ewan McGregor. It's a Lucasfilm Civil War rages on.
Shut
Bespin,
up.
man, what the hell have I
Not
walked into? Yeah, shut the fuck up, Bespin Bulletin.
I didn't
Fucking
tell him to
next-
shut up.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they're gonna put women in Willow. It's ridiculous.
Oh shit, man. Back in my day, Nelwyn's were tall. What are they doing, making Nelwyn short? God, what's going on with Willow? Come on, Willow, where's your trailer? Baymax says Qui-Gon Anon is an industry serving up gullible morons what they want to hear daily for the super chats. Milk it, baby. Yep, it's
One
true.
of these idiots had the nerve to say that no one complains about Marvel shit. I'm not gonna say the fucking name, dude.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
This dude goes on his fucking show and says, Marvel's pretty good. No one complains about that shit. I can't get past that. What, you fuckers? Let me go back in their thread and go look at when Captain Marvel came out and go see what they were saying. I feel just colossal. Like, they rewrite history daily, their own history. Like, they were bitching every day about that fucking film.
Or they just continue to move the goalposts or whatever. That keeps it.
That's
keeps
how
it
I
moving.
win at soccer. Just move it left or right. You can definitely get a better shot.
Joseph says, "Man, I must be a laugh a minute living the life where anything featuring women, LGBT, or people of color is woke and therefore a serious threat to everything." I know, it's like, what is the threat of that? That's what I don't understand. It's like, I don't personally feel like I was up for the role of Reva and somehow I lost the job. To be honest,
Careful,
with you.
Michael Savage.
Yeah,
That was his
and
great argument fucking for his first 10 years of his stupid fucking career, that he
Mhm.
lost a job to basically a person of color because of fucking affirmative action. I'm like, no, you're probably just a fucking idiot. Your last name's Wiener, not Savage. Live it.
Yeah, I lost a lot of jobs for a lot of reasons.
Michael Wiener.
Who cares? Move on. Sheev says, "I'm gonna do my best not to do that with my channel." Laugh out loud. Yeah, just be honest. I mean, at the end of the
Like,
day,
Sheev's trying to be nice.
Sheev is nice. Even Shevens.
Think of Sheev.
I still think a show should be called Even Shevens, and every time you should be going, is this even or is it Sheven? And then even's fair, Sheven not. So yeah.
Is that Groot?
Hey, how's it going, Thrawn? When everything is woke, nothing is. Well, that's the thing is also, like we've said before, what they call woke is actually like representation in media, and representation in media is actually profitable. And like for instance, I'm going to turn this around. Have you ever turned on the TV and it was an all black, if you're not black, and you saw like an all black show, and immediately for 1 second felt, this show's not for me? The show is not made for me or designed for me? No, because I think that can be a really natural kind of thing to say, like, oh, this is meant for somebody else, and that's okay. But I think that that can happen. But if Star Wars only has all white people in it, a person of color may turn it on and go, oh, that's not meant for me. That's meant for them. But if you see everybody in it, then it's fine. That would not be a natural. I'm talking like a very tacit thought or feeling or emotion that you may have. Like there's no doubt about it. TV was designed and segregated for years.
Oh yeah.
You know
I
what
just
mean?
came along at a time, Jason, when like everyone was watching He-Man and G.I. Joe, and sometimes I got to watch it, but my parents pretty much made me watch whatever they watch. But I was
Yeah.
watching the Jeffersons and Good Times, like right
Sure,
off
me
the
too.
bat.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
right
a
off the bat.
syndication when I was a kid, and I just
Yeah,
kind of grew up watching it
syndication.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was just new TV. I was like, they would leave on a cliffhanger every now with the Jeffersons. I'm like, what the fuck happens? I gotta get back. Like the next
Yeah.
day, spent all day thinking about what happened.
And
Did
my
George?
my grandfather wasn't a racist, but he was very much a man of his time. You know what I mean? He was born in like 1919, and if he saw that, he wouldn't watch Good Times. He was like, well, you know what I mean? He just wouldn't do it.
I never
It's weird.
as a kid, I never really I didn't pay attention to the fact that they were black, or
Yeah,
it's just I was watching a show.
yeah.
My stepfather, who ended up adopting me later on in life, is a darker skinned Hispanic male, and big fro. Had the big fro, had the big stash, looked like Humpty. You know Humpty on the Humpty Hump. Look,
It's your chance to do the dance, to do the hump.
That's he looked kind of like Humpty. Had the same nose, the whole bit. And
I'm Humpty. I'm Rod's dad. Rod's dad.
I didn't realize
Rod.
like color was a thing until my grandfather, who was a World War II style racist, would make Jap jokes and wetback jokes and all that shit when I'd go to his place.
Yeah.
And my dad would look at me and just go, you know what I mean? Like, don't be saying that shit around there.
Yeah.
But kids in my neighborhood, my father had his own security company. They would call him Rent-A-Cop, you know? And it took me years
Sounds like RoboCop.
to realize.
Sounds kind of cool if you don't think about it.
I thought it was cool too, but they were making fun of him.
Yeah.
And what I realized was he was a person of color who had a weapon, who was in authority. And because they would say he's fake and he doesn't count, he doesn't exist, and your father's not real. You don't have a real father. He's not a real human. He's not a real American. He's not a real person. This man went to Vietnam. You know what I mean? Like fought to fucking like. So it took me a long time to realize what dog whistling was.
Yeah.
And how people said coded shit when they said something else.
Yeah.
So when I did realize it, and it fucking blew my mind, I mean, that's when I started fighting folks. I'm like, well, fuck you. My dad's around, beat the fuck, you know. Here comes this white kid, angry as fucking shit, you know. Like,
Yeah.
So like, yeah, like this exists. It's nothing new, you know. Before us, after us. But when I hear guys on these YouTube shows saying shit like this is what I hear. I hear the kids in the schoolyard who call my dad a Rent-A-Cop, and that isn't what they're really saying. They're saying something else.
Well, that's
fucking argue. Like,
that's what. Yeah, no, and that's what I'm trying to point out today is that that in a lot of ways they are echoing great replacement theory. It's literally what this is. At the end of the day, that's what that's what the issue was turned into. And, you know, I mean, if you think Tucker Carlson is a genius, then you're on board with it already. But if you don't, you can actually be a part of systematic racism and not even realize it by pushing those ideas because you know that it makes money. You know that that sucking on the teat of that anxiety gives you super chats, you know? It's YouTube is dumb. Lewis says Obi-Wan getting Reva to go after trying to kill Luke is breaking canon. Nothing right-leaning about. Oh, we're talking about that. I think I went back too far. Yeah, I went back too far. I'm sorry. I'm so fucking conservative today. I went back too far. So Arya says when random enemies in the comics, they are canon, almost kill Luke multiple times, it's okay, but a Jedi turned Sith doesn't have the right to almost kill Luke. Yeah, that right there, that kind of stuff. They keep saying, so this means Reva is the only reason A New Hope happens. That is such a mental fucking idiotic thing. It's like, so you just picked that whatever last piece of media you saw that saved that character means that the rest of the history only happened because of that moment. Like, not the fact that Obi-Wan Kenobi, Yoda, and Bail Organa took them and hid them. Not the fact that Obi-Wan Kenobi after
can protect Luke.
when the Tusken Raiders are about to literally murder Luke and eat the flesh off of his bones, and Obi-Wan scares them away. That doesn't
yuck.
You know what I'm saying? It's so
like
stupid.
Gwildor eating those ribs in He-Man, the He-Man movie.
The great Billy Barty, the High Eldwin from Willow. Respect.
This is pretty good. Like that voice, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I was glad he got to be in Willow.
I
Praise the bones. Sorry.
didn't Ewan McGregor say that he's been watching some videos online of fans like coming up with certain theories, and I wonder if he's addressing shit like that.
No.
No, you don't think so?
No, all of the PR stuff that they're doing is super candy ass. Like we're all a family and everything's good. In my opinion, look, like I love the prequels and I love what they're pushing right now with the idea that there's a whole generation of kids who grew up with the prequels. Everybody's happy, everybody loves it now. But also, if you want to get real about things, make no bones about it. They are pushing that idea to make it accepted. Therefore, now the prequels are good. And they have a vested interest in pushing that narrative and that idea. I happen to subscribe to it. At the same time, I could blatantly see that it is a push. There is a bit of an agenda there, and that's to make it where everyone should like the prequels. Prequels are great. Kids.
You want to complain about Disney?
But I love them. I love them though. But I could clearly see what they're doing.
Let's talk about how they leave their actors out to dry with these fucking dudes on social medias, you know? Like they just let them hang out there to fucking like deal with it. You know, like Daisy Ridley, fucking everyone, you know, like Marie Tran, everybody, you know, like just having to deal with it. The only person who's addressed that was John Boyega when he was like, they fucking didn't say shit, you know, like they're not helping anybody, you know, like, and they're chicken shit cowardice, you know, for not directly confronting this as a monolithic entity, you know what I mean? That should protect its fucking employees. But this is a company that lets its fucking employees live in cars outside of its fucking theme park. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, in case you think I'm a Disney apologist? You know?
Well, hey, Taco Bell does it. As what she says, Halo
but
Star Wars
they
fan
make it great.
crossover is so evident when they're racist mad about two characters being played by black actors. Those two are one of the best parts of the last few episodes for me. Roles played well. Yeah, and that's like the other thing about all of this is we haven't seen like we haven't seen really much of Reva in the show, for instance, and how that's going to play out. Now, if Reva really sucks, if Reva's not interesting, super boring, doesn't connect, has no great moments before that, and to be clear, there's like 8 things in a row at the end that are all very important, big things in that last episode, from Leia getting home to Luke's, you know, to Obi-Wan and Owen sort of having some kind of closure in the moment, to Qui-Gon Jinn. Like all of these things are going on, and Reva's in there. She's one of the players, and she's so if she really sucks and nothing connects, it will be like that happens in the middle of all of these big things, and you won't even notice it. It'd just be like, why was that? It'd be like, okay, like it won't even matter. But you can see that I dropped fucking Qui-Gon Jinn shows up as a ghost. It's me, Liam Neeson. No pee pants. No pee pants. No pee robes. I'm back. No pee stains.
We need that shirt. No pee
and they're
pants.
they're not talking about that. They're talking about the black girl.
So fucking stupid.
I
Oh my
mean,
god.
That's
so ridiculous.
I mean, that's what it ended up being, because that's the anxiety.
We're talking about the black girl breaking canon. It's breaking canon. No one ever broke the canon before now. Like that's
it's
can't wait for
manipulation.
Ahsoka, greatest character ever. Why don't they do more like that? Like
She broke canon, you fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't get more canon breaking than that. Like,
well, and I don't think that they're analyzing it correctly. Like, I have no idea how I'm supposed to say your name. Is his name Fanish? Dan? I don't know. How do you say it? What is that? Anish? Tanish?
wow.
I don't know. I have no
Good
idea.
one.
Yeah, you have to tell me one of these days.
Anish.
I hope they give a proper reason for the Inquisitors and Vader not going back to Tatooine. So this is maybe one of the only like valid things, but once again, I want to say I don't know everything. For instance, when Reva dies, do we cut back to does Obi-Wan feel it? I don't know. I have no idea.
Right.
Why would the Inquisitors go back to Tatooine though when they chased everybody off of Tatooine? That's one that could be one reason why. But the other thing about it is that there are questions that you can have that you can ask, but also remember that Obi-Wan. So I think one of the critiques now is, well, why does Obi-Wan go back to Tatooine? Why don't they move the boy and do all of this other stuff? Well, because they can't change A New Hope. And because, you know what I mean? They are locked in this thing. That's the real fucking reason. But if we're going to get into the actual story here, when all is said and done, Obi-Wan has more power than the Sith can possibly imagine at this point. They are in a better place than they were when the story starts. He now has Qui-Gon Jinn. Qui-Gon might be watching over Luke all the time too, and talking to Obi-Wan. Like that might be. There are things here that we can't.
Qui-Gon's like, I move his chairs from the table under the floor and back and forth. Fucks with Baru all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jason. But nothing. What about Episode 1 when fucking Luke Skywalker? Anakin Skywalker, the name Skywalker, is a giant fucking celebrity in front of Jabba the Hutt, right? Like, that didn't break canon,
Yeah,
this is ridiculous.
Why didn't they change his name from Skywalker the whole time? Like, there are things
to Lars, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're actually like there are things to be like, what the fuck about? And like I said, in my mind, I just always go, you know what? Maybe I just make it work for myself personally. I go like, you know what? He probably doesn't go around telling people he's Luke Skywalker all the time. Maybe he tells people he's Luke Lars. Maybe it's not until the gloves come off and Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru are dead that he's actually saying, I'm Luke Skywalker and I'm here to rescue you. I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you. I'm a little fat for a stormtrooper. But no, but it's like,
you think one day deep fakes will get so good we can just make actors fat now? Like, you could hit an AI button. Because I would like to see Indiana Jones where he built like Jack Black, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be? I mean, I get he'd probably clip through objects. It wouldn't be perfect, but it would be fun to watch.
I want to see Leia with a big old booty try to get down that trash compactor thing. I just want to see it happen.
Thunk.
You know,
dude, and then Luke is using the Force, like Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Yeah. No, I do not mind a big ass booty. I'm a fan. Matt, oh no, I know where Matt's going with this. I think the bait and switch here is the story is really about the droid that Kamal is playing in this series. I knew it, you son of a. I knew it.
That droid likes
the whole
fuck
time.
Dudes.
I knew it.
I'm gonna watch that series. We know the droids get down in new Star Wars, man.
We got
By the way, sorry, Nari. I kept laughing every time you went sorry. No, I fucking couldn't stop laughing. It's so funny.
Oh man, you know, making
sorry, Nari.
We got it.
The feet are hanging. Like, it's so dark, dude.
It's so dumb.
Oh well, it's a Disney Star Wars. Can't hang people.
Yeah, I mean, no. At the end of the day, though, like I would say, if things like this truly do bother people, like what they call canon breaking, which really isn't, but if that's it for them, I think it's time to not watch anything new, and to only watch new things that aren't from old things. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to either accept this or like it becomes your personality becomes the guy who goes, but what about? Oh no, what are they doing now? I'm so much smarter than them because I know this fun fact. It's like they're fucking well aware, and trust me, they worked it out and battled it out. And they battled it out.
My favorite is people at Disney should be watching the movies. They don't even watch the movies. It's like, yeah, okay, no one's there watch the fucking films. You got them, you know. Somehow they missed it. You know,
yeah. but once again, like when I very first heard this news, the very first time I was like, I get a call. They're like being real sketchy about what was filmed that day. I'm like, come on, they're always a big day. What was it? Well, and then they put a white kid in an igloo. Anyways, no, but you know, and I hear the fucking news about the whole thing, and when I hear that, I'm like, wow, okay. And that part of me was like, the very far off part of me saw the internet and was like, they're gonna not like this. But part of me was like, is that cool? Like, does that work? And then I had to be like, ooh, and I started like, and then eventually after I put everything together, put it in my notes, when I put everything together, what I thought was the order of the series, I went through, and my true, honest 100% reaction was, this feels right for the ending of this series. When I just took this series as a story, it felt like the right ending to this story about protecting these two kids. But then the next question to ask, does it feel right for Star Wars on whole? Not just this story. Does it feel right outside of it for everything else? And then that's where I was like, I honestly don't know. I have to see it. Like that's where I fell. And that's still kind of where I'm at with it to some extent. But I also looked at it and I'm like, you know what? It does not, like, the rules were not broken. Were they bent a little bit? I honestly feel like they were bent more with the Alea thing. That's the part where I have like the most trouble, because she clearly doesn't fucking know who that guy is. She doesn't know that old bastard. She doesn't see him and she doesn't give him a hug. She doesn't say Obi-Wan or Ben or anything like. I mean, it's been a few years, but I mean, and the years haven't been kind. I think we could be fair. If you're Ewan McGregor, then you turn into Alec Guinness. Like, you were pulling some serious ass at one point, and now I don't think it's happening for you too much.
But if you're a fan of the prequels and you're a fan of the Clone Wars, then you got to shut up about it, because we've already been down this path. Like, I at least lived up to my I never watched the cartoon, and I gave up after the prequels. Like, I was like,
well, here's the thing, man. I can say whatever I want, man, because Ahsoka's my favorite character. Ahsoka's my favorate character, so you can't call me sexist because Ahsoka is my favorite character. You can't call me racist
canon more than Padawan. Annie having a Padawan. I can't, never brings it up. Obi-Wan doesn't bring that up in Revenge of this. No one brings this one up. Like,
but looking at what we have here, Star Wars as a living text, you have Star Wars. It didn't do this idea, then it does this idea. Everyone's like, what the fuck? You get 100 episodes of a show. You're like, okay, I'm in because I like it. And then now here we are in 2022, and they're filming an Ahsoka series that's going to have the ghost of Anakin Skywalker in it with her. And it's going to so it's like, the thing about it is, when you take that one thing as the end, that thing, A New Hope, is the end of it. It's not. That's the thing, that you don't know what the end of any of this stuff is. There's going to be a project to make all of this stuff interface over time. That's one of the good things about Dave Filoni. I would say that's even his strength in the series, is the fact that he is very good at being a fan, to the extent that he goes, oh, how are we going to make, how are we going to stitch these things together? And then it will seem like it was common sense. They will literally construct the in-universe common sense. And that's how you do it. But it is what it is. The quarter pounder is as reliable as tits on a fish.
Quote of the day, Crawling
It's really
Chaos.
good.
Quote of the day.
Love
that needs to be on a
says,
shirt.
Luke knows about the Clone Wars. How would someone know about the Clone Wars and not a Jedi? That's where I'm at with it. That is I think the best justification for it, because literally you are making, if you go the other way, you're making the assumption that he has been indoctrinated into a false narrative set by the Empire, like he went to the Empire's base. Well, here's an argument. Wait, hold on 1 second. But then people follow this up with, he wanted to go to the Imperial Academy, but most of that shit right there isn't canon. That was like cutscene stuff for the most part. And he wants to go to the academy. It's not even clear, like, necessarily what that actually means.
Look, I wanted to bring this up because that's the talk. Oh, why would he want to join the Empire if the Empire tried to kill him? Let me explain something to you as someone who joined the United States military and fucking absolutely hated the United States military after watching my entire family go through fucking Vietnam. Yeah. Because there was no other way out of my shitty fucking town.
Yeah.
Do you understand? There was no other way out. Like, the recruiting office across from my high school, Santana, if you remember the shooting, right? That high school. There's a recruiting station right across the street, and they keep a record. You can go in there and read all the time. They call it for years. And for years, mine was right in there where I would laugh and prank them. And it was in the little book. You know, like, but there was one day I was like, there's no way out of here. There's only one way out of my fucking, I got to get as far away from this place as possible. The only way I can do is through the military. That's it. That's it. That's Luke's only option. What's he supposed to do? Take up with weird space raiders who might shank and murder him? Like, it's all you have.
Well, yeah, I want to roll it back a little bit. The thing about it is when they go there, dude, they actually misunderstand the actual sequence of events. Biggs goes to the academy,
right,
to jump ship. They go there, they get the shit, and then and then they jump.
The
and
cut
they don't.
They
wants to go to the
completely
academy
so
miss
he
that.
could jump ship. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know, but they're not watching the deleted scene. It doesn't really count. So I have to.
There actually are. They are
screen.
actually. I've seen them in comments citing it, and that's where they're going, and they're completely misunderstanding the whole thing. And most of that stuff isn't canon, like the Empire nationalizing his uncle's farm, shit like that. They didn't really pick up on all of that stuff. But it is, it's like if you don't want the stuff to work for you, you can make it not work for you. And I'm not. And once again, the series could come out, and we might hate it. We might go, this sucks. I mean,
I already don't like a lot of the texturing in the cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
I've been very vocal about this. Milk those.
I don't know. I'll have to see it. Yeah, I don't like how
questionable about John Williams' theme.
Well,
why are they hiding it?
I think I mean we have like 300 brilliant tracks from him, and like a couple that are just like whatever.
No, it's ruining everything. Breaking canon. That theme should have been there in '77. It breaks canon to have a theme now.
Dell, you know what?
Williams.
There is a piece of story that I've been trying to find, and I have not been able to find it recently. I looked a couple of times, and I had it back in the day, and I can't find it now. And what it was that it was Lucas talking about this, and I want to find Lucas talking about it and the event. And what happened was Nixon's aides were the ones who were telling him how he can stay in power, how he can use the army and the military to barricade himself in at the White House. And I wanted to see if it was Roger Stone who was telling Nixon that. And I can't find that anywhere. Right. But isn't that fucking fascinating if it happens to be Roger Stone who tried to get Nixon to become Palpatine, who then inspired Star Wars, it's all connected.
Look at him. He talks with his teeth. Like Penguin.
But if anybody finds
or
any
Ed Grimley.
If anybody finds any of those things, send them my way to MakingStarWars@gmail.com. I would appreciate it.
Ed Grimley. Like fucking anyone knows what I'm talking about.
Crawling Chaos says he'll give R2 a foot massage.
Barbecue foot massage.
Darren says, hey guys, good to see you. I can't tell you how many Star Wars YouTube channels I've had to unsubscribe to since they are jumping on the bandwagon calling Kenobi. You guys in Megan Star Wars Theory are really the only ones I'm watching now. I'm disappointed in Josh recently. And yeah, I love Star Wars Meg. She's my my son though. My son. He doesn't want spoilers for Kenobi. And it kind of, in a way, I respect it. Kind of sucks because I want to like bounce things off of him just to see what his 8-year-old mind kind of, and then I can't tell my daughter because she'll just go tell him to be a jerk. So I'm having to like, but we always watch
Mackie with spoilers.
Yeah, we always watch Make Show in the morning. We're getting ready for school, and I have to stop it. And I'm like, he's like, why are you stopping? I'm like, well, you're about to find out what you don't want to know about. And I'm like, if you're not going to watch my video, I'm not going to let Meg spoil you. And he's like, okay, fair enough. But yeah, so it's pretty weird. I am going to and I'll report on it honestly. I'm curious as to how my kids take it. My kids are well versed in the Star Wars films. They've seen them since they were born, over and over again. I'm curious to see if they come to those kind of conclusions that the internet does, or if it matters to them. I mean, once again, remember, I was a little boy who got the Return of the Jedi storybook and saw that Leia was Luke's sister. That's why I learned it before the movie came out. I think it was before the movie came out. It was either the comic. I remember the comic and us when Leia's all, Luke, hold me. We were like, ooh, when we saw that panel from the comic. But anyways, that's where I learned like this huge spoiler.
It's like that little strip of porn you find out in the woods.
Yeah, it was like that.
This one snippet of the fucking comic.
But once again, as a kid, that blew my mind that Leia was Luke's sister. At the same time, that breaks canon, friends. That breaks the canon.
It breaks everything.
It
It breaks
continually does.
everything. It was a love triangle that Luke was never going to win, but it was a love. That was why it worked. It's so fucking dumb. Like,
I don't know who Josh Rich is, honestly. Because I would like to see these lamers bitch about that in front of Sam Jackson. I ain't said bitch about shit. I'm like, hello, Mr. Jackson. I love purple. Dan the man continues. What's up, fellas? Jonathan says Josh from Den of Nerds is an absolute disgrace, making up an agenda out of nothing. That's hard to not see it that way, honestly. And Josh is always welcome to come on the show and talk about whatever he wants to. If he wants to talk about it, I'm down, if he thinks I'm being unfair. And I messaged him over the weekend. He did like another video and on Twitter, and I was just like, you're putting emphasis in the wrong place. I'm like, it is completely a fair question to say, I don't know if I like this idea. That's fair.
But what does Scarly Face Biatch think, Jason? Like, I have inquiring minds or want to know.
Well, yeah, it's just like it's fair to go like, I don't know if I like this story, if I feel that the story idea might not be good, but it is not fair to say it broke canon. It's not fair to say it's bait and switch. It's not fair to say it's interjecting. All of that is you putting your real world bias onto something that literally was not there in my reports, what I heard, or any of that. And then you have people that are like, that's the only way that they hear this shit. And it's like, I have to question, are you doing the wrong thing?
Yesterday I saw the video, like, completely.
Which one? Josh's video?
Yeah.
The Den of Nerds one? Yeah.
Yeah, the one that I think it came out yesterday. I hadn't watched his other videos, so I was actually surprised when, he said that it was like a character that was marking off the check boxes or whatever, and just stuff like that. And I was surprised that, because he didn't seem like he was that way in the past, I guess. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I saw it, I was disappointed, really.
Well, I don't understand how you did you see the big video I did?
Yes.
Well, yeah,
but I didn't watch all of his video. I saw a snippet of it.
I just don't know how he could watch that or read the things I did and then come to that conclusion. It doesn't make sense to me. The math doesn't compute.
No, I didn't watch all of his video.
I know. I'm not saying that, Max. I'm saying I don't know how he came to it's a checkbox thing based off of my fucking report when she's like the villain who does the stuff Darth Vader can't do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, literally, that's how the character is designed, because you can't have Darth Vader going out and like constantly losing. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, Darth Vader and Kenobi meet and they have the big fight and it's over in 20 minutes. Right? I mean, you have to have somebody that is not as capable as Darth Vader to continue the chase,
right,
to propel the story until the big bad comes in. And Star Wars always has the I'm gonna say like the rabid lapdog wolf that's out looking for the bad guy. There's Darth Maul, and then you have your big bad. Mm-hmm. And well, that's Emperor Palpatine. Not in this fucking story, to the best of my knowledge. In this story, it's Darth Vader. In this circle of bad guys, Darth Vader's the big bad.
Mm-hmm.
She's the villain on the street. You know what I mean? Who's out doing the actual grunt work in the hunting.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get it. I honestly don't. Doesn't make sense to me. Marvel Mania says people should really watch the interview between Lucas and James Cameron. Oh yeah, it's a good interview in it. I mean, in it he basically talks about how politics are what kicked the whole thing off for him, and it was the Viet Cong and Nixon. Palpatine's Nixon, the Viet Cong are the rebels, and it's about how the strongest empire goes down and is defeated by people with essentially sticks, stones, and bows made out of garbage. Sticks, whatever. And that's what he says. Yeah, he's like, that's always been the case. And it's all, and you could go watch From Star Wars to Jedi, the Making of a Saga, and he literally talks about how he was taking the ideas for Return of the Jedi from another project that was called Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, he
I
was
mean,
originally supposed to direct Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, he was.
And he actually did go and shoot all the Vietnam scenes for More American Graffiti.
And that's where Lucas was coming from. Anybody who thinks that George Lucas wasn't a San Francisco liberal the whole entire time is just, I'm sorry. You could want Star Trek to not have been political when it was the whole time playing the parable game. And a guy with a half black, half white face, what does that mean? I don't know. That's too much. Sounds like he's just very fashion forward.
He also gets a little bit into it on the commentary for Attack of the Clones when he gets into the Steadicam sort of film, the shot style of when the clones attack. He modeled after Vietnam footage. And he talks a little bit about that, Lucas himself, on his own commentary on that disc, because I fucking listened to it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, these guys, look, man, these guys just have power trips, Jason. Like, I always believe there's these guys, like, they got the blasters, they got the toys, right? And the pew pew and the boom boom and that to them is Star Wars. They missed everything else. That's it,
Well, Lucas has the he was making the comment during the Trump administration, but what he really means is that he feels that everything that's been going on since he started Star Wars has been the decline of our democracy. Starting probably for him at Nixon to Reagan and so on. He sees all of that
hard to argue.
No, it is. It is. Historically speaking, it is.
We're talking about a Republican Party that was okay with abortions and actually taxed segregated schools in the 70s.
Yeah.
Nixon did that, but that goes away by 78, so people don't even know what the fucking John Birch Society is, Jason. So like, you're arguing with fucking nimble-headed nitwits, you know what I mean? Who learned everything on the fucking internet and then complained that, like, it doesn't fit into my fucking narrative because you don't know enough. Sorry, you're fucking like simple-minded. Go back and experience the real fucking world someday,
Yeah.
Like you'll understand why shit changes in production when you actually have to make something, you know what I mean? And it didn't fucking work and you got no money and someone have to fix some shit in production.
Breaking news.
Like just shit
Breaking
like
news.
that.
Best Spin Bulletin, Making Star Wars field reporter says, tomorrow Disney is doing a show some kind called Disney Up Front, with execs claiming the event will be unlike anything fans have seen and it could be a major news day.
I hope it's all puppets. Like, everyone's a puppet.
Nintendo
did that once for a Nintendo Direct. They were all puppets, right? When they announced Star Fox on the Wii U. It's the greatest fucking thing ever. Miyamoto and Iwata and Reggie puppet. Everyone was like watching the stream. Everyone was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like,
sounds
like,
cool.
Yes.
Yeah. There's always a possibility that they may be realistic and announce Ahsoka stuff tomorrow, as opposed to letting it leak out through us, which is fine. I love doing
canon
that.
breaking.
So I would rather that happen for me and Bespin. That said, though, with Celebration being at the end of the month, I would not hold my breath for anything. Why are they going to go shoot their load too much tomorrow? With Celebration being a couple weeks away.
Not to be my typical negative self here, to get back to the regular show. If it's classic Lucasfilm, nothing will be said. It will all be the other projects you're not going to remember after Celebration, like comics, books, weird hats and glasses and shit. Just something real fucking dumb. I hope not. I'm optimistic, but
yeah,
Meg is probably the most optimistic with this. She gets all excited. Like, you get those videos. And they're really going to give something for us prequel fans. And I'm like, they're not. They're really not. They're scared to death of the prequels to this day. Like, I think that N1 Starfighter
I disagree with you there.
Move they've made.
I disagree with you there in the sense that right now I think the project in the media is all the kids who like the prequels are growing up now and they all love it. Understand this, Rob. And then but that's what they're trying to do. They are trying to push that hard. I think
kids who grew up with the Clone Wars cartoons are more likely to be their money makers, not the prequels. Like,
Yeah, I'm like right on that like cusp of the prequels, like of like I wasn't necessarily a kid, but I wasn't necessarily an adult. You know what I mean?
Well-
Like as I was like 18.
Not a girl, but
And-
not yet a woman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And no, and like I said, like about half my friends completely fucking hated it, and the other half were completely on board. There is definitely the generational divide is real, but
But at that time, if you're a kid, like an
Mhm.
8-year-old kid, you're getting the
Yeah.
Harry Potter films at the same time as you're getting
Harry
Star
Potter
Wars.
started after though.
2001.
Started after.
Yeah, but if you're 8 years old, you're getting it. This is the same fucking time frame. You're getting it around the same time.
Yeah, kind of.
You get two Star Wars films by the time you're getting a Harry Potter. You're getting like 3 Harry Potter films by the time.
I went to all the Harry Potter movies. I went and saw them all, and
fell asleep.
Star Wars
I
was a
fell
sausage
asleep.
fest. Star Wars was a sausage fest, and Harry Potter was a bunch of girls. And by the time the 8th one came out, they were all adults dressing in schoolgirl outfits, and I was like, nice.
I'm telling you, they're still afraid of them. Yeah. I'm just still afraid. They're still afraid of the prequels. That company.
Like I said, I don't think
They
I don't think your greater point is wrong. I don't think they're afraid of it. I think that the project is well underway to be able to like push it, and we'll see. We'll see how they go forward.
Jester
but
series confirmed. Is what
well,
you're saying.
between Kenobi and Ahsoka, could not be more of a prequel cleanser in terms of what it's doing.
Though. I don't. Yeah,
but you're like
throwing Boba
divorcing.
Fett, looking at the midi-chlorian. I mean, I don't know. Like, what are the numbers on the Bad Batch? Because that would be the real prequel people. Like,
Bad Batch
we
can't get
don't know.
arrested. Bad Batch can't get arrested. It's like Bad Batch is just like is a fucking weak afterthought. I mean, in terms of the bigger picture here, that's why I keep hearing everybody's like Cassian can't start then Bad Batch, and I'm like, Bad Batch. They're just gonna put it out. They're just gonna put it out. Let's be like,
could drop tomorrow.
Yeah,
we know.
Gary says I never used to till he started making sense and setting Disney for what they are. You know, I don't know what you call it. I mean, like, I don't really like. I hate the concept of corporate personhood, and people sort of anthropomorphize corporations. And when you get down to it, these are writers and directors. There's no fucking governing board. Like that's the thing is when they go, there's no one controlling this. It's just moving. That's more true than the idea that there's a central personality and like guiding smoky room with Kathleen Kennedy smoking a cigar saying, "Here's the thing.
I'm certain Gary Brent is a self-made man who's never who only makes his own money from, you know what I mean?
I don't
never
know
worked for a
Gary.
corporation.
Yeah.
I just when people fucking go, oh, the corporation is what it is, and I knew what they really are. Oh, who do you fucking work for? Wells Fargo? You know, you work for somebody.
I'm a self-made man. Here's what you need to understand. I make Battlestar Galactica.
You work for yourself. I mean, I've worked for Activision. It's like when someone tried to fucking tell me the other day, you know, like saying Disney has an agenda for a specific series is the same thing as saying Activision had an agenda for Crash Bandicoot. They don't. They fund it. They hire people to make it. They have an agenda on when it's going to get released. That is the fucking one thing that ever came down from a major studio. And if Disney ever interfered with with anything in Star Wars since they bought it, it's the release of these films. They've been really open. Iger came out and was like, has to be out by 2015.
Yeah.
Solo has to be out in May. Rise of Skywalker has to be in that date. I
don't remember where I saw. I just saw a Ron Howard talking about how the process of taking over Solo from the Lego guys, and he was like, hey, you know, hope it's cool. And they were like, it's cool, man. And like, they kind of like, you know, handed it over and all that stuff. And then he was like, you know, it kind of came and went. He's kind of disappointed in that. But he was like, but they were really insistent on it coming out that May. And he wished he had more time with it. He actually is saying that, you know? And so, yeah. And that's the other thing is like J.J. Abrams has a ton of power when he comes into Star Wars both times. And so you can't really put much to it about what the flavor of the company is, but that's like two of the movies. Rian Johnson makes his one movie, he bounces. Then Ron Howard comes in, makes his one movie, and he bounces. Then Mandalorian guys are there, and they're just like, yeah, we'll do Star Wars. We're just like to go and to put like there's this like, and then what's his name? Joby Harold writes Kenobi. and is the one who has like an idea to like bring it all together. And like, so you're going to go and you're going to put like all that together and pretend like it's this like central like thing, and with this concurrent themes and these things. And it's just like, no, actually it's not. You're just actually looking at modern filmmaking and then drawing a conclusion off of it. Honestly, it's my feeling here. But Batorian says, and just in advance, you were like 30 minutes behind on chat, so sorry if you talked about it already. Yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah, I know.
Jason feels the need to answer every chat for some reason.
I know. I should just be like,
it drives me nuts.
I feel like if you guys bother to send a chat, I should I am grateful for all of you little mutants. And for David, who became a channel member. Thank you, David.
Yay.
I'm not making fun of you, but that is a cool name, man. Like, honestly, you got to become a director. Just could be Gorlick's new film. Like, I fucking love it.
That's a good name.
Cool. It is, man. That's a cool director's name.
By the way,
fucking monsters of madness, you know.
Me and Bespin, we were hanging out. We were playing some video games the other day, and we were like talking about how, like, we were kind of patting each other on the back. How we've been able to really get these really amazing things. We pulled off some amazing stuff over the last like couple of years, and then he's like, he just randomly he's like, who do you want? Who do you want in Fortnite? And this is dumb. This is a dumb story, but I'm like, man, I really fucking want RoboCop, dude. Yeah. I really want RoboCop. And he's like, yeah, RoboCop, that'd be fucking cool. And then he's like, what's the movie you're most excited for this summer? Like, what do you want to see this summer? Like what is it? And I can't say what it is, but I told him what it was. And then like literally a couple weeks later, RoboCop comes out and I get invited to see that movie this week. So I can't say what it is for that reason, or I'll fucking ruin the fact that I can see it.
You manifested it.
But Jason. I'm saying, I think me and Bespin might be powerful manifesting wizards.
Some support for Ukraine while you're at it? You selfish fucker.
No, actually, I went the other way on this realization, and I want Queen's Gambit to have to use my bathroom, and then us to start the conversation.
Can you manifest a free Tesla for Max? Because her fucking car's getting taken out every time we turn around. There's some god fucking horrible car accident.
Sorry, but I want Queen's Gambit to come over.
Can you manifest me some hair? Because this is not helping.
I would have done that for me.
Back here and back here. It's not working.
I went Queen's Gambit. Sorry, still went Queen's Gambit. Will Morgan says we don't break cannon around here. We squirt cannon all over the place. Thank
you. We need the shirt. I'll do it just like the Star Wars tilted font. We squirt cannon.
I messaged you the other day, and I was like, let's take this to a really offensive place, and let's make me the spoiler stigmata.
It's too cerebral a joke for these people.
Oh, come on, me on a cross, me with like fucking spoilers leaking out of my hands, like on a cross. Okay, whatever.
I hear you, but it's too. And homeboy is right. They're never gonna leave. Like, they're ruining it. Disney's ruining it. You're not going away. Disney lives rent free in your head. Even if you never spend money on it, you cancel. You're watching all the shows. You're watching all the movies. I don't know about the books and shit, but you're watching the live action shit, all of it. Yeah. You know, like, you're in. They got you. They got you. Or leave and quit. I did for 10 years, and they still got me. I came back. Mm-hmm. Can you go 10 years, not one Star Wars fucking?
You know why? Because you're an American. This is American culture. So. This is Star Wars is an American staple, and like baseball and hot dogs, you're always going to come back to it because you love America.
I don't give a shit both baseball and hot dogs.
Yeah.
What about a kielbasa guy?
Yeah.
I love kielbasa.
I'm more of a 7-Eleven quarter-pound dog right down my throat. I don't even chew. I just swallow that shit.
Whoa.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's right.
Skills. Okay.
Darren says, I would absolutely love for Jason to go on Nerd Theory and chat with Theory and Josh. That would be a brilliant Star Wars conversation. If they ever invite me, I will go. And if they ever want to come on my show, they are completely invited. Marvel Mania says, for those upset with the end of Kenobi, with Obi-Wan letting Reva go, do you really think Obi-Wan would let her go if he even thought the slightest bit of doubt that she would spill to Vader? Come on. Well, that's the whole thing. Like, literally, if she was going to do it, she would have done it, and she didn't. And I also think that yet there are things like hope and faith at play here. And once again, I think that just based off of what I know, there could be more to it. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying I know I never claimed to know 100% of every element of the series. I just know these broad strokes. And yeah, I mean,
Why are you calling women broads? I'm just
because they are. But
Dames, broads.
doll, how's it going, doll face?
Keep it very baby Herman around here, you know.
Remember when Chuck E. Cheese used to be more like that? Hey, doll. He was like kind of like a little like a
was a
vaudevillian
pimp.
slimy guy.
That's my dad used to call him. He looks like a pimp. Like,
Yeah.
Welcome to Chuck E. Cheese in '82. Remember we walk right in with the big showroom with the clapping hands on the wall. My dad looks right at that mouse and goes, "Looks like a pimp."
Yeah.
All right. Time for pizza and beer.
And like at the end of the day, like when this moment happens, let's just pretend that it happens 100%, like I said, and that's all that there is to it. Let's just say there's so much open to interpretation. What is Kenobi thinking in that moment is something that they're not really considering. Because Kenobi may know if she goes back, she's dead. So Kenobi may know she's going to commit suicide, or Kenobi may think maybe she's not going to go back. Maybe she's going to go on the run. Either way, she's leaving, and that's what I need her to like do right now. You know? I mean, we don't really know. We can't really say what's on his brain unless they put out a novel and say a comic book with the thought bubble. I don't know. I don't know what to say other than if
you need that VH1 pop up, you know, for like when he's like in show where you think
right? With the little facts.
Yeah, the fact comes up. Kenobi knows Reva ain't no rat, and she knows how to keep that shit shut. I mean, I don't know.
I have the moral high ground. I've already won. You know.
Yeah,
like,
I think that there's a big difference between Cassian Andor and Obi-Wan Kenobi. I saw people. I think was it on Josh's show? I don't remember where I saw this now, but I saw people going like Kenobi would strike her down and kill her. Like, it's like, no, when the fuck have you ever seen Obi-Wan? This is the guy who said
he couldn't even do his own friend.
He's the one who said you must do what you feel is right. Of course, he doesn't even try to push Luke into anything. Like he doesn't.
Kills one guy out of anger, and let's be fair, he was in blackface.
Who was that?
All right, Darth Maul.
Yeah, I don't even.
He was clearly angry when he cut him in half.
Well, I don't even know if you would even. I think you could make the argument, but I don't even know if that's even necessarily like. I think that was determination. I don't think it was rage.
Maul had the high ground, so.
Yeah, and he took it from him. So
won.
So I could see where Darth Vader was coming from a little bit. You know, he's like,
okay, the prequels break their own canon in the movies. Like the prequels break the prequel canon, guys. Like you don't. I'm not trying to be an apathetic Gen Xer, but I guess there's a little bit of this to this. Like we're past that ship has sailed. Like when Obi-Wan's shit like I have the high ground, and then you wheel back 2 movies when Darth Maul had the high ground and Obi-Wan clearly won that fight.
Yeah,
it's like this. None of this makes any fucking sense, you know.
David says now you can't keep me out of any of the chats. Uh-oh. Thank you, David. Oh, great. Dummy's here. What's Dummy got to say? There is nothing canon breaking about Rev at all. This is a non-issue. Yeah.
Dummy, brother.
I really agree with you, Dummy. I think this is the smartest dummy in the chat today. No.
You sound like my dad.
Yay. Chowder heads. No, but
I'll never forget that Bill Cosby stand-up himself when he goes off about calling his kids stupid. And my dad looks at me, that's right, you're stupid. And Bill Cosby and my dad, I was like, I'd never been shamed. That was the most meta moment of my life. I was being shamed by a TV show and my dad. Like,
well, I didn't think I felt, you know?
Yeah.
James says,
he raped a woman afterwards.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Eddie Murphy.
Not my dad, Cosby.
Cosby. James Saylor says they just want to get mad. It's no different than back in the day where people who did the prequels and say they were done continuing to talk about it and buy a product. Well, you're also right, and the ultimate irony is that the people from the prequel generation who cry about how the original trilogy people like were dicks to them, they literally do that to the sequel kids now. It's just the cycle of violence.
These are the same people, in my opinion, that were using that term George Lucas ard my childhood.
Yeah.
You know, that's what
true.
I'm hearing. They
Yeah.
were the ones saying it. And I as someone who was like, not my movie, that's disgusting. Like, don't say that shit. It's ridiculous.
Well, and the thing about that Reva moment too is like, what if Kenobi senses it? What if Kenobi feels it? What if we have a moment where he realizes she's dead and then he knows he doesn't need to leave? I don't know if that happens. I didn't report on anything about Kenobi's reaction to any of the stuff.
They're not changing their opinion, and they're still going to watch the shows. So when it comes, that day comes, whether the scene is good or not, they will go, oh, there, they did it. I knew it. It's over. Disney's ruining everything. It's done. I'm out of this. Cut to Andor when they're bitching every fucking day. You know?
Marvel Media says,
whatever they do.
Obi-Wan is strong in the Force and will likely be able to sense a change within Reva, thus knowing she could keep the secret safe. Or he figured Vader would kill her and it wouldn't be an issue. Yeah, I mean, those are, I think, exactly two healthy ways of interpreting that scene. And that was my take. I honestly felt like when that happens, when that moment comes, Reva gets wiped out. That was literally saying, though, at the same time, you are not a major player in this. You are a pawn, and both sides have used you as a pawn, and for her whole life. That's sort of her realization, I think, in that moment with Luke, is that she's not going to put another pawn on the board, you know, like herself. And once again, I don't think that makes her. I think that means that there is some humanity in her. I also don't think it means that like, oh well, now it's cool that you cut off that kid's hands. But Star Wars has a moral message, and the moral message is that it's never too late to start to do the right thing. That will always be the moral message of Star Wars as it stands today, anyhow, and it continues here. So if you want to go, well, at the start she cuts off a dude's hands, and then now she does this. Well, yeah, fucking Darth Vader blew up trillions of people on planets, and at the end he did the right thing. And so, and does that?
I'm certain everyone on Alderaan was on a timeshare at the time.
Yeah,
no,
Kylo Ren did the same thing, and Rey French kissed him. She fucking stuck her fucking. She was like, she's like,
I was gonna German kiss him, but that's a thumb up to at the same time.
She did that. If you watch her, you can see her mouthing, "Make the come hither" motion. She's like reading it like that was in the script. Make the.
She reads hither. She leans in, Schadenfreude, and then kisses him.
Yeah. Baymax says TV14. There was a grip circling. It was TV9. I don't think TV9 is something here in the States, as far as I know. But you could go on Disney Plus here in the States right now, and it says exactly what I just said.
Still waiting for all those Fire Spray guys. They're supposed to quit Star Wars after that. Why are they still here? I don't understand.
Because they love Star Wars.
They promised they were going to leave, Jason. Keep getting my hopes up.
Yeah,
still here.
Yeah, it is what it is, right?
I want real fan arguments, like when James and I talk to one another. Like that's a real disagreement. But it's not.
I don't know what that is. I think you guys need to get a room.
He thinks Guillermo del Toro needs to direct a Qui-Gon movie. It makes no fucking sense. Mm-hmm. None whatsoever.
I don't know, man. All I know is
Dr. Evazan and what's his face. I get it. Ponda Boba, right? Like that movie. Directing a Rancor film. I get it. Directing fucking was it the weird fish people? I get it. But like directing Qui-Gon Jinn. Okay.
As is true. Which, by the way, if you guys like Star Wars gaming, great guy to follow. The great Disney Plus subscription cancellation is going well, except Disney Plus is growing by millions every month. They sure showed the House of Mouse.
Was it Rod DeSantis was saying Disney's going to pay it, and now he says, "Oh no, we actually have plenty of surplus. We can cut." The guys, here's what happened. If you live in Orlando, get out now because your property taxes are going up 25%.
Yeah, right? It ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen.
They're gonna, I hear you. Yeah. I hear you, but like this is dumb as fucking shit.
Yeah, I mean. It would be crazy.
9/11.
Disney World will not be able to stay open if they pull that. Disney World will leave.
Big potholes everywhere. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
every fucking street falling apart. Like the mosquito. Do you know how much mosquitoes Disney kills alone in that area? Like the amount of mosquitoes. It used to be called Mosquito Valley or some shit like that back in the day. Like it was ridiculous. Like all that goes away. Mosquito City when they leave. Have fun.
Yeah. Marvel Mania says, nah, Marvel fans complain a lot. Look at the reaction to the new Doctor Strange movie. People definitely complain. It's just that it's drowned out by all the positivity and the money rolling in. Yeah, Marvel is very much like a different beast. Like a buddy of mine was like in Star Wars, and then like I want to say he had like 4,000 followers when he was doing Star Wars. Started doing Marvel, and I like looked at his profile on accident one day. I was like responding to something and clicked on it. I was like, holy shit, he has like 99,000 followers now. Like Marvel people are just like, it's a completely different but more lucrative thing. And I think it's more profitable to be positive with Marvel than it is with Star Wars for whatever reason. There is something different. I wish we could crack the code.
Yeah, when Josh said people are nice about Star Wars, I'm like, I mean, Marvel. I was like, what? Did you just fucking forget Falcon and the Winter Soldier and that whole fucking
Were they
period
mean
of
about
time went? Yeah, well, every fucking day with this shit. It's woke. When they had to deal with the police and then eventually becomes Captain America, all that shit, bro.
Yeah.
The bloody shield, nonstop with those motherfuckers, dude. Like,
and I'm guilty of this too. Jedi of Chicago says, all it is now is people using buzzwords to trigger the algorithm rather than provide actual criticism. And here we are talking about them. You know what I mean? So it's like plugging them in a weird way. Jason, you would be perfect.
I like to plug them.
Thank you, James. Now I'm getting really mad about this Reva thing because I think Moses stole my role. The role I was
lens
born.
flares, and no one's complained about lens flares yet. I thought that was the big thing ruining Star Wars was the lens flares.
Just wait until they figure out that her name is actually Revan without the end because it's the female version of the same name.
Ooh.
I'm shocked that hasn't come up. You know,
Well,
I've been waiting for that. You know, but I didn't want to say it.
I heard
if I say it, then they'll just do it. But
I heard the name was created as the female version of Revan when you could be a boy
where's
or
the
a girl.
mask? That's my question though. Like,
I
don't know a fucking thing about the Inquisitors. I really don't because I didn't watch the cartoon.
They don't all wear. They usually have like a little hat of some kind. But
because I saw that in the video game, like she has like the little, the cute little one.
They all have different ones. Yeah, and that mask that I have, I actually saw that they have that stuff there, and apparently it was just like maybe they were just making stuff. I don't know. I don't know what the story is. I'm sure they'll tell us.
This has been a complaint with Boba Fett. These studios need to stop with not using masks. Just let them know. You know.
Chris asks, thank you for being a channel member, Chris. Is it true that Leia has the second most screen time in the series? I would say so, yes. Though it would be pretty funny if that was true after all the annoying doom and gloom about Reva. Oh yeah. I believe she's in every episode. I believe she's the only character who's not in every episode. The only thing I'm a little bit that's questionable about right now is if she leaves Kenobi in the 5th or the 6th episode. And I believe at the end, when everybody is getting back home, that's when we see her reunited with her parents, Roken handing her over. And so yeah. And like I think in a weird way they're going to get to double dip on this one because they're going to have things to actually grift off of when the series comes out. Smart. Dummy says people should complain. All customers have a right to voice their opinion on the product or service they're purchasing. But if your complaint is rooted in racism, then keep it to yourself. Yeah, I agree with you too, to some extent. But every now and then you go to like McDonald's or something, and you'll see somebody being like, "The customer's always right." And it's like, shut the fuck up! You're getting French fries.
Can I explain? Hold on. That phrase is another phrase that has been misconstrued. The phrase is the customer is always right in matters of taste. That's the actual quote, which means that if a customer says, I really enjoy this fucking stupid hat I'm wearing, who am I to argue with the customer? Right? In matters of taste. I think that taste.
Wait, are you asking me? You know who I am? I'm Jason Ward.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know.
All right.
I know.
All right.
I know baiting.
No.
I thought you were baiting.
Master baiting.
Oh yeah.
But
I'm
But it wasn't meant to be like, I think I should get the food for free because I'm the customer's always right. In matters of, it's not whether you want your shit for free is not a matter of taste. That's just fucking stupid. So
my fingernail looked got a little
Ninjago,
dirt
huh?
in it. Gross.
Big Ninjago fan.
Put my dirty nail on the thing.
Yeah, Ninjago
anyway.
broke Lego canon.
Yeah, but no, I mean, yeah, I mean to like an extent, but and I think it ties into what you're saying though. Like the taste of the story was by the creator's taste, by what they thought was the right choice for the story. So kind of is what it is. Gary says, Mr. My folks watched Lost in Space and Land of the Giants. They were great. Mr. and my folks watched Mr. Oh, my dad, maybe? Oh, me and my folks. I would not be good on Jeopardy today, or Wheel of Fortune today. Me and my folks watched Lost in Space. Land of the, yeah, that was. I am falling apart. Baymax says all of these woke threats stem from insecurity, insecure in their own identities, insecure that their world is disappearing. Fuck them. They will cry and circle jerk in the pity parties regardless.
It's almost like fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate.
Hate leads to shit posting on the internet.
Shit posting. You got to say it like he would. Shit posting.
Wait, that was a little Yoda. You went Yoda, man. Shit posting.
Hate leads to shit posting.
Hey, Oronauts will do it.
Hey, I'm Grogu.
Baby.
That's what Grogu sounds like. Grogu's drunk. The Crawling Chaos says, what I mean is to say is the scripters put a woke label on it so many things that I can't take them seriously. Yeah, I do think that there could be a moment where, you know, like oh god, honestly, I'll throw myself under the bus here. Where I thought woke didn't work was I liked that new He-Man series, but they gave Tila like a person of color as a friend who doesn't do shit for the first part of the whole series. She was there to checkbox, in my opinion. Like I have seen it where
the problem with that series is that the hook, the big hook is, what if Skeletor actually got the fucking sword of power? Great idea.
Sure.
What if he actually gets what he wants? Should have been the first episode.
Yeah.
And then you live in the land of the lost for the first 6 episodes until He-Man comes back, and then they fight, right? Like they made that the 6th episode. Like, you know what I mean? Like the third, it goes on quite a while, and then it happens, and it's like that should have been the first episode. He gets it. He takes the sword.
Max, your mic is making a lot of noise when you're moving it.
Like the movie.
Baymax says, tune in to a run-of-the-mill Griff channel and watch 10 white males talking about woke diversity. It's like a Spinal Tap movie. Fucking hilarious.
They turn racism up to 11. You know?
Thank you, Les, for the super chat. It'd be funny if Hayden and Ewan defended Moses. I think it would be, here's the okay, so number one, it would be right if they defended Moses, but also, do you shine a light on the lowest common denominator on things? There is a line. There's like a point where you can make something worse by literally acknowledging it. You can give it power. But then on the other side, when something is really rolling and you ignore it, then you are then just letting it go. And it's bad. So it really is a very difficult thing. I've never been able to figure out when that is necessarily, because it's such a personal side of things. It's such a personal perception of when that train has left the station and we're downtown to Crazy Town. This is on the track to being downtown to Crazy Town. This is down on the track to be Kelly Marie Tran Part 2. This is on the track to being Finn Part 2. This is on the track. You know, it's the continual thing with the same players to some extent. Yeah, it's fucked up. But so I just think that all we can really do at the same time is hope that they do. But I also think that they really can't acknowledge it yet, because then they have to acknowledge that the ending is leaked. They have to acknowledge things that the story is going into places that they cannot acknowledge. So hopefully post-release, if it continues, they do. Hopefully we live in a world that is not as shitty as it was just back to 2017, but I honestly don't think that anything has changed, unfortunately. But the one thing that I will continually laugh about is what I'm doing today is going to have the people on the left shitting on me and the people on the right shitting on me. I really get nothing out of this. I'm an idiot. James says, how come the grifters never bring up Lucas's treatments? Lucas would make Lucas basically what he was in The Last Jedi, because they want to pretend that George Lucas is a guy living in, like, you know, I don't know, Idaho or something, in a cabin who hunts for bears and shit like that, and is like a fucking woodsman, and you know, wants to make America great again. But the reality is that he's a fucking rich kid who grew up on a walnut farm with more money than any of you will ever have, but was still a liberal thanks to the 60s, and moved to San Francisco, where
liberal-ish.
He
hated unions.
He's right. He's a right winger for I'd say he's very right for San Francisco,
Democrat.
but compared to the rest of the country, he's still very left.
He's very Ted Knight-ish.
But yeah, the Jedi of Chicago says the first time we meet Obi-Wan in A New Hope is when he rescues Luke. So growing up on Tatooine is a tough place. It's dangerous. Yeah, that's the thing, is as we see Luke Skywalker grow as a character in the coming years, as we see him, you know, as Disney continues to do this, I think that we're going to see the character change in certain ways. We're going to see things extrapolated upon that changes our fundamental conceptualization of Luke over time. And I got to say it, like, when you have two people from the cutscenes being saved by Boba Fett, that they have now changed. They have now grown. But it goes to show you that every day on Tatooine in the Star Wars universe is an adventure. That's just the way that serialized adventure is set up. It's one fucking thing to the next continually. And if you want more Luke, or if we want more Luke, or if they want to use Luke, that's just going to be the way that it is. It's going to be one piece of danger or the next, or there's no reason to like touch them. And I think fans need to ask themselves, is anything sacred? And I know the answer. It's no. Star Wars is owned by a fucking corporation. It's not sacred. Was it sacred when it was written by one man? Maybe. I don't know. Not really, because even he was fucking with the sanctity of it every single time he changed the visual effects. Every time he got a hair up his ass and decided Greedo shot first, or Han shot first, or Han does this now, Han does that now. Now he doesn't do that. Now he doesn't.
Canon.
You know, I mean,
it's breaking canon when you literally manipulate frames in a film to get an effect.
Yeah, but what that's done over time has taught us that outrage is very profitable. And so, you know, it is what it is, you know. I mean, it's like, I don't know, it's sort of weird. I feel
Jason, Antifa talked me into the Han shoot for thing. So, you know, that wasn't my plan, but it's the way it worked. I got talked into it.
I don't believe I'm creating this concept, but I need to look into it. Is media literacy a thing? Because it should be if it's not. I mean, really, like that's
what you mean by media literacy.
The ability to read mass media, what it's doing and how it, like I could see it, and I know, and people know, but then you have these people that are just like, are completely like, they are awash. They don't understand.
No.
It's like they are illiterate to the way that media works and what's happening to them, how they're being, like, I almost feel like everybody knows how you're being controlled by media today. But the truth about it is, I don't think that they do. And I think that maybe that's sort of an issue. But once again, I'm gonna like Google that and see what people say about it, because I think that's something to consider. Attack of the Clones is 20 years old today. Today's also the anniversary of the day that the Force Awakens started filming. I think it was technically yesterday, but in Abu Dhabi with time change and stuff. But anyways, yeah, there's a lot of little things going on. By the way,
across the stars.
Sat down with enough people at Lucasfilm over the years to know that that's the one that George Lucas felt like he fucked up. That's the one where
I agree.
That's the one where he felt like, you know what, it didn't work.
Yeah,
you know,
it doesn't work.
You know,
I just killed a bunch of kids. I love you truly deeply. She's a peace loving. None of that makes any sense.
Yeah,
it falls apart horribly.
She thinks Hayden's hot, dude. All that she cares is
then go with it, but
that's
don't.
At the end of the day, she's like,
ridiculous.
Man, she's like, the way you threw that fucking wrench in that garage, throw fucking a baby in me. That's what she said when she saw him throw that wrench. He's like, nah, he's holding me back, and she's like, I'm not. His legs are open. As the true says, this generation thinks if a Jedi doesn't force pull down Star Destroyers out of the sky or slaughtered people, they're no longer Jedi. Obi-Wan not being their Clone Wars Obi-Wan is going to be a rude awakening. Yeah, that's probably a very good point. You are probably dead on there.
Also, last week you said you felt that the Jedi Survivor was kind of a dumb name, right? And I would say it's not the best, but nothing's worse than Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast. Because it has Jedi in it fucking twice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm with you.
I
feel like Jedi Survivor is a weak name, but I also feel it's so simple that it will become household easily.
Yeah, I think that it works, but Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast is a dumb fucking name.
Yeah.
Like,
but once again, it's
a dumb name.
Yeah. Louis says, talking about Obi-Wan, did they actually film Obi-Wan fighting Maul and Tatooine in episode 1? No, that was just for the photo shoot with Annie Leibovitz. Yeah. The footage actually exists. It does not. Or is it just a Photoshop image they put together? They filmed that. They took the photos out there, I believe, and then probably doctored the photos after. Yeah. That's my, I don't know the blow by blow creation of the photo itself, so I don't want to overstate it, but
all of her photos in that set were great.
Yeah, she, from what I understand, usually hadn't read the scripts or anything like that, didn't really know. She knew a little bit, they filled her in on a bit, and then she would just stage the photos according to what she thought would make a good photo, and they're like, okay. So, and then that was what it was. Also, really good misdirection at the time, because we were questioning, are all the leaks fake? Are they incorrect? You know what I mean? Or does Obi-Wan get involved and stuff like that? Yeah, blurry footage. Luke Jones. It speaks volumes that Den of Nerds won't hop on a live stream with you all. Well, I didn't invite him, to be fair. I didn't send him a DM and invite him. Oh, well. Or the channel to talk about this instead of spinning a narrative and feeling the outrage machine. Intentions are showing big time. I do think that it's hard to read it any other way, though. The young boomer says, I still have a suspicion Rev and Obi-Wan have a prior connection like Plo and Ahsoka. Did he bring her to the temple as a youngling? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot there. What if Obi-Wan's the one who brought her? You know what I mean? What if, I mean, there's...
I like to steal kids.
Yeah.
My job.
Well, I mean, there are fun ways of considering like things that could be too. Like, what if in the grand scheme of things, Reva was supposed to be Kenobi's, protege, and then with the way that everything panned out, he was with I mean, there's fun things that they can do, but who knows? I don't actually think that that stuff happens. I don't know if we have any of the. I don't even know if the two kids at the start are actually Reva and somebody else, but it's been heavily implied to me that Reva is one of them.
None of the current slate of Star Wars shows, Mandalorian through, have done a very good job at explaining any backstory.
Yeah,
they've been very ambiguous, imagery based, and straight up ignoring at best. Like
the difference is that if those shows were designed with the intent to continue and to fill in, they don't want to write themselves in the corners too much. Whereas this one was designed to be a one and done. I think that's the one difference here. Also,
my hopes up.
Major difference too is that it's not like it was written by Filoni and Favreau, and that they're like the ones that are pushing it. They're gonna blow some smoke up your ass and make it seem like, oh, don't worry, they're just gonna try to get that checkbox in for the fucking YouTube dummies. But they definitely are part of the story group and read the story and stuff like that and knew what it was and offered like suggestions like everyone else did in that writer's room circle or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it's not the same production by any means.
To be fair, in my script, she had a cowboy hat. She had a big little Stetson. Every character's got to have a hat.
James says, if one stands 4 feet from lava and it doesn't have to touch you to burn, how come Anakin and Obi-Wan didn't spontaneous combust?
My dad could never, ever get past the Rocketeer because his pants don't catch on fire. Like, I'm watching it. He's like, his pants will catch on fire. It doesn't make any sense. I'm like, it's a man flying with a rocket pack, Dad. Like, you want to get into this fucking, like, right now?
Sorry, Nari.
Yeah. Does Rambo really make sense after the first film? Like, seriously? Fucking head. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, there is sort of like a certain place where you're like a huge buzzkill, where you're like you just don't like to have fun, or you are incapable of having fun.
That's what I told my dad. This is a fun movie.
Yeah,
I like to believe the dude could wear Superman hide the boots. I don't know. I just let it go.
yeah. Marvel says people act like entertainment is just like food service when it comes to the customer's always right, and it's very dumb comparison. Sometimes you're meant to be challenged with what you watch. Also true. I think that there's a difference between service and creativity. Fundamentally, I'm sad I have to explain that, but I do think that there's 9
out of 10 SoundCloud rappers disagree.
Like it would be like walking up to a painter and going, "Well, I'm the customer. Why isn't this abstract painting looks like dog shit splattered? I am offended. Give me back my money." Now
you understand what it's like to deal with Walmart as a t-shirt artist.
Oh, yeah.
Walmart comes into your art and goes, "This will never work. You must change and remove all the Black Widows from the shirt and put in Wolverine because women won't sell on shirts." And then I would say, "But you got a woman on all the Corona bottles, and what does women in bikinis have to do with fucking Corona?" And then they would go, it didn't matter.
Hey, how's it going, Greg? Welcome to the show. If the ending was a fifth brother Grand Inquisitor standing over Luke with their lightsaber, would there be some uproar by some of those people? Definitely not. But also, if it had been them, the problem would be that if they continued to be Inquisitors, with the big hat.
No, Luke would be like, "Once this really big-headed alien guy was in my house," and you're like, "Ooh, Skinwalker Ranch. No, Skywalker Ranch. No, Skinwalker Ranch. No, Skywalker Ranch."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jedi Chicago says the Kevin Smith He-Man show was good in my opinion. I do agree that there was a bit of bait and switch, but I liked how it mirrored the sequel trilogy because it showed a world reacting to the loss of the main hero. Yeah, I actually I haven't watched the second part of it yet. I just haven't got around to it. But I did like the first part that I watched. So
and did good. But this Netflix's great plan to be like, we can't possibly just put shows out weekly. Can't fucking do it. They refuse to do it the way George Lucas refuses to ever use the term Dark Jedi in anything. Like he had to create Inquisitors and all this other shit just to get around. He just drew the line. I'm never gonna fucking say the word. You can't make me. And so like they fucking were like, let's take the show and split them into parts. Part 1 and part 2, and only advertise the first part and make you think the second part is another season never coming. And so no one ever watched the second half. And they're doing the same thing to Stranger Things. I suspect Stranger Things season 1, part 1 will do well, and no one will watch the second one because they won't promote it. Like,
I'm excited for it, but yeah. Is it Jean-Pierre? Is that how we say it? Is that how we say his name? But I like it. It's fancy, at least to me. But thank you for being a channel member, dude. Media literacy is a thing. It's why QAnon exists. Same people that said don't believe everything you read on the internet, now they believe everything they read on the internet. Yeah, it is sort of like that idea that you can go and just like, I'm gonna do my own research. So this thing I found means I found it. I'm me. I'm the main character of the story, and therefore what I found is what the story is supposed to reveal. And now this is the truth. Yeah. Confirmation bias, isn't it?
Also, how many times has Jason been like, "Hey Rob, did you see what was on Reddit?" I'm like, no, and I never will. Like,
Reddit is very human. All the goodness and the badness of us.
Humans.
No, that's fair. Soundwave says digital literacy refers to an individual's ability to find, evaluate, and clearly communicate information through typing and other media of various digital platforms. Thank you, Soundwave. Yeah, it's definitely shit. So it's definitely a problem.
You like, does typing, is it okay if you understand what I'm saying regardless of how it's typed?
Yeah. Darren says, do you think Moses, Cass are aware of all the things pre-hit going on right now? Yeah, I do. I think I do. Even looking up Kelly Marie Tran, she was honored. She like name dropped me one time. She's like, I read Making Star Wars. Like I saw like support for myself there or something like that, and it was nice. And so they definitely are aware. I mean, I do think that like when you get down to it, you have people that are creative but also successful creative people, there's always at least a tinge of narcissism in that. And what narcissist doesn't like to Google themselves or look up what people are saying about the work that they're doing? I think everyone does to some extent. And you know, yeah, you do. I know you, Rob. Narcissist motherfucker. Anyways, okay.
I did look myself up on eBay once to see if anyone's reselling commissions they bought me, to see if they
Oh, yeah?
get their money back.
See?
Yeah, that I do.
Curious.
That I do.
Oh, Max has done it. No, but anyways, yeah, they are aware. I think, you know, that's why like people will just shit talk somebody on the internet thinking that they're never going to see it, and they always see it. They always do. You know what I mean?
That's why you'll never find, doesn't matter how far back you dig up my name, you're not going to find me out there being a little hate monger. Because I learned early on in life that whatever you say, my dad taught me, someone's always watching. And my dad was always watching. I don't know how he fucking did it. But he put the fear of not the fear of God, the fear of my dad in me. My dad has passed, but I still fear this fucking dude's still looking. You know?
Yeah.
He was like, I was always there. You know, you got a little dick. It's pathetic. Thanks, Dad. You know.
Do we know how much Hayden we are getting in Ahsoka yet? We don't. It hasn't filmed yet, so it's that's why it's kind of hard. Everyone is really asking like a lot about Ahsoka like this week, and it's like nothing's happened really. They've barely done shit on it right now, so it's like yeah. And also, I will also be honest with you. If I knew, I don't know anything, but if I did know a lot, I would say I don't know anything right now. Because if you go out there and you start going, oh, they're doing this, they're doing that. Guess what they filmed just now? Guess what? You won't hear a fucking thing after that. They're gonna close that down. They're gonna
So
you know,
early.
yeah.
Plus,
It's just
man, we have Andor coming, man. No one's excited for that but me. Am I the only one?
No,
I'm like super excited.
I'm excited.
You are, Max?
Yeah,
Like,
I like
I'm
because
more
I like
excited
Rogue
about
One.
Andor than Obi-Wan. Like, so.
Aria says appreciation for Rob and Jason. I'm gonna say Max too, sharing tough times that they've dealt with during their lives.
don't share tough times.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought she was talking about something else. Got a ton of respect for you. Thanks, thank you, Aria. I always appreciate you hanging out with us. Hey, Sam, how's it going? Does Vader?
Max says, let us know how much she likes Taco Bell, though.
You like Taco Bell, Max?
Not
Are you a
really.
taco
It's
gal?
A little bit.
Okay.
I'll take Taco Bell over Jack in a Box by a mile.
I ate Jack in the Box and I sent Chris some pictures from the outside menu. I'm serious.
Hey, Chris. Sam says, does Vader being popular in the original trilogy take away from Luke's arc? Huh. I don't know.
Well, let me see media literacy here. Does Vader being popular, everyone mean like in the world or in our world? In our world. So everyone like Vader, did that take away from Luke's arc? Yeah, I'll tell you how I remember this. The word on the schoolyard was, do we get to see Vader's face? That was all we cared about. Not does Luke save Vader and turn him back to the... No one cared. We just want to know what Vader looked like.
Yeah.
That was the big deal. And then I did, and my cousin was like, 5 years old. I remember the look. I was like, all right. I mean, how bad can it be? Like,
Aria says, I know for a fact that Theory will love the ending and the whole show. Watch everyone love the whole show. It will make Josh look like an actual moron. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't keep up with that enough. Soundwave 815 says, Moses is super aware. She's nervous as hell, and she said so. Oh, okay. I hope
sucks. That sucks.
Yeah. I hope she doesn't get too much shit, and I hope if she does that she's able to let it roll off of her. I will say it's probably in a weird way, probably a good thing that she's in a show with Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, who are two of the people who went through also a ton of shit. Not Ewan as much, but still he had to deal with the prequel hate. But and Hayden, I mean, Hayden's career clearly suffered because of the prequel reaction, and
Jumper didn't help either.
Maybe especially now, I think probably they might kind of have a small talk with the actors just to let them know, hey, the fans are really crazy, and don't take what they say too.
They do, seriously. But they care more about their own shit first and foremost.
What do you mean?
Don't leak. Don't say this. Watch out for this. They care more. That's more of the prep stuff. There is that conversation, but everybody, of course, when they're oh, I could take it, I'm ready for it. Oh yeah, I know this is going to be big. Like it's not.
And they aren't.
And I will be honest. I mean, to some extent, you would have to be a little bit stupid to go into Star Wars not realizing, not necessarily how you should know. It doesn't make it right, but to not know that it's a huge thing, and if it doesn't work, it's going to really suck for you. Like that shouldn't necessarily be a big surprise, but it doesn't make the reaction that they give those people any more, okay. Like I'm looking at what Carlos said: Hayden, Ahmed Best, Kelly Marie Tran, Jake Lloyd. These are just some, yeah, and those are people who they decide to target and act like giant children at, as if the actors wrote the roles and directed it and made the outcomes of it and shit like that. But the weirdest thing, though, like I said, to me, is still the interjecting her into it. It's like she's a character, she's a player in this whole thing, and I don't see that as the story didn't exist and now it does. So whoever they say is on the board is on the board. You know what I mean? Like you can't decide what the chess pieces are in the game that they literally created for this story. That does not make sense.
My fan fiction, I'm writing her out.
Soundwave says for sure they are a perfect pair going to be going through this with. And yeah, real Ben Maynard, that's the thing I was referring to as well. Yeah. I think that's a good point.
I just hope that when the Oral Knots do a whole thing on this, if they do a whole thing on the show, not just the trailers, I just hope that they point out all the weird canon breaking shit. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, because they will. They're pretty good at like pointing everything out. Like when they make the Jedi's total assholes and shit like that. Like it's hilarious.
Yeah, and it's when you like just isolate all of that footage, and you just like when I was doing that dumb video I made this week about the whole story, and I only had that much footage to work with. It was really hard to not just start going off the deep end and extrapolating on the only things that you see over and over again. I could see, not that in any way could I do what they do, because what they do is brilliant, but I could definitely see how the jokes completely evolve. Like when all you do is have people strutting on in those trailers, and that's like all the footage you have to work with. It's hard to not like. I could definitely see why they came to that joke in their video, and it's you're a
really
Patreon supporter of theirs, aren't you? Do they ever do any behind the scenes stuff? Like, do they ever tell you a little bit about how they do what they do, or no?
No, they type stuff. They don't do any video.
The young woman said, I saw interviews with Moses and she definitely comes across as a real sweetheart. She's still young and a new face, and I hope she'll be fine. I ultimately think that without Star Wars, she would have been fine. I would even throw it out there in certain ways. It's like, I don't even know if she really needed Star Wars to start on her acting path. What?
Storm.
Oh, Storm. Yeah, it should be Storm. But
I can't wait for all these guys that claim to be hate new Star Wars and love Marvel. Whenever Marvel reboots the X-Men, can't wait for them to go, Marvel jumped the boat. It's all woke. X-Men's political. Because it's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Batorian sleeps in. You think he has like a full Chewbacca onesie, or do you think he just goes to bed with just boots on, with just boots?
On my life.
Just boots.
Boots.
When I got my first apartment, I tried to find a race car bed that would fit me. I tried. They're just too small, but I tried. I went to every furniture store in San Diego and Orange County. I looked far and wide for a man's size. Now I'm certain they exist, but in 2002, But I just wanted to see the look on the first lady's face when she comes in and sees my raised car bed.
She's like, you really think I'm gonna blow you in a Dale Earnhardt bed?
No. I was thinking like mask. I wanted to get the big mask logo, right? With that cartoon, man. I know.
Yeah, Moses is out there rocking Scary Spice 90s look, and I'm all about it, says Soundwave.
Excellent fashion taste. She needs the monster boots. Remember those big boots they wore? Those big monster
right,
boots?
yeah.
Platforms.
The moon boot.
Ben says, so a positive thing. Do we have any little interesting Easter eggs or anything to know about for the series? Honestly, I concentrated on the big, yeah. No. Yeah, I know things I can't really talk about it. Soundwave says, "Oh my god, imagine thinking X-Men hasn't always been political. Fuck, you are right, Rob. That will happen."
It's coming. It's gonna be the big. They churn. They change. Whatever. You'll hear everything. It's never gonna
Wait,
stop.
are you telling me X-Men's gone woke? Oh, I have our new name. We're the Ewokes. Yeah, the Ewokes.
That's a good one.
The Ewoks.
They did take down the Empire, and that makes no sense.
Mhm.
You know, the Empire was able to defeat everything, but these little furry bastards can do it.
Mhm.
It's just they're interjecting Ewoks into my trilogy and ruining everything. They did. The Empire could take down all of the Jedi, the whole galaxy, but little bears. Welcome to
Yeah.
1983, man.
It's
Like,
time for
nothing
the
fucking
Yub
new.
Nub agenda. A friend of mine worked as an extra.
No,
for a few
Lucasfilm
scenes.
told me it's Yub Yub, not Yub Nub. Because I fucking. Yeah.
Louis says a friend of mine worked as an extra for a few scenes with Leia, and both thought she was playing Leia's handmaiden, same as Padme had. Have you heard of handmaidens, or are they replaced by Lola? That's a good question. I don't know anything about handmaidens actually. I just know about Lola and Leia in the scene, and I don't know anything about there being handmaidens. It doesn't mean that there might not be when they're on Alderaan, because they filmed a lot of Alderaan stuff. It's very like domestic sounding. Every time they were talking about what they shot, it sounded like it was like a fucking piece of a TV show, like a general TV show, and I was like, okay. But that's honestly, if depending on how the edit comes out and what they do in the end, like, because like I said, I don't know how this stuff's edited together or anything like that. I just know what they shot. And when I was hearing what they were shooting for Leia on Alderaan, it sounded just domestic. Excuse me. That's how I put it, just domestic. And I almost feel like there's going to be like a juxtaposition between Alderaan and Tatooine in their lives, but then Leia's thrust into the real world outside of her castle, you know?
Tell us we're into a spice den. They're gonna figure out life.
Someone says they made Magneto a Jew in the new Disney X-Men. What the hell?
My guess is, man, if they recast him like with like imagine if Esposito was Professor Xavier. You know what I mean? And Denzel was Magneto, and it was based literally around the civil rights movements. They'd fucking get so mad, you know, like just watch the whole internet.
Young Member says we're not going to find out who's voicing Vader until transmission, are we? Haha. Yeah, that very well may be the case. I'm going to throw it out there that if the longer it goes without an announcement about James Earl Jones, the more likely it's not James Earl Jones. That's just my reading of the situation, but it definitely seems like it would just be a positive thing to throw out there, and it would be a new story and stuff like that. So maybe it'll still happen. Maybe they're saving it for closer to the release, or maybe they're saving it until we get more closer to Darth Vader country. Which
you think they wheel out James Earl Jones day one of Celebration? Bring him out. We got him.
I don't think
do his lines right now.
I don't think he's ever. No! I don't think he's ever done. I don't think he's ever done one. So I do.
Be the last one.
Yeah.
His chance.
That's so stupid. Do they really do that? I hate how Nerdrotic and Geeks and Gamers call the MCU the MCU. That's so stupid. That's so fucking stupid. That's like literally like if we seriously called it Ewoks. D'Angelo, how's it going? Whoa, D'Angelo, you changed your picture here, and that seriously is fucking with my head right now. Do you think we'll get a release date for Mando 3 at Celebration? Rob, Denzel as Magneto sounds incredible. Mando 3 release date at Celebration? Yeah, I bet you they're going to probably say it's like coming in spring or something. Most likely. Soundwave, okay, but will it be James Earl Jones, people? Let's keep our heads up. Heads on. I think it might be that, what's his name? Was it? I can't remember his name right now. Like Sam something or whatever, who was the guy in the VR game, Vader Immortal, probably. So it's 2:24. We got to wrap this up. I don't feel like being that person, but I think James Earl Jones does not sound right even in Rogue One. I wish they would find someone else. Honestly, they have. I mean, if you play Vader Immortal, go watch Vader Immortal. It honestly, when I played Vader Immortal, it never occurred to me to look to see if it was James Earl Jones. Yeah, I just never did. So I felt like he did a fucking rocking job. Yeah. I really do. And
Rockin'
yeah.
Sock'em.
Yeah.
Fuck'em.
Ben's there. The guy from the VR game was good as well. Yeah. So I honestly, I personally don't have but I also at the same time, if you had a problem with him in Rogue One, I don't have a problem with him with his voice in Rogue One. So I'm clearly not the person who is okay. Thank you, Carl. Scott Lawrence was a great voice in Jedi Fallen Order. I believe it's Scott Lawrence who's in Vader Immortal as well. And so I think Scott Lawrence does a really good Vader. And yeah, so I'm not too concerned with it. I know it keeps coming up. I would love to know if any sources are watching and would love to fill me in. By all means, I would love to bring that news to the people here. That would be good. Just to answer that question. But Soundwave says, "Oh snap! I literally thought it was him in Immortal till right now." Okay, you went. Yeah, see, he does a good job. Yeah, he does. And so, anyways, I think we will definitely wrap it up here. And
Matt Berry is Dash Rendar.
Matt Berry is Dash Rendar. Okay,
I'm telling you, they got to do it, dude. This should a droid. Come on, make him Dash.
I actually have video of them recording the voice of Darth Vader.
I told you. Oh, God.
Oh, sorry. It turns out I don't. But thank you for hanging out with us today, Max.
Sure.
For this old bait and switch. This episode bait and switch. And yeah, I wasn't talking about some of the comments, but we ended up spending the whole time the chat was fucking hopping today, so kind of became what it became. But we'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you got a problem with that, sorry. Yeah, and please, if you're still watching, thank you, Tyrant, and thank you for being a channel member, Tyrant. Hit the motherfucking like button. All 70 of you watching, it does help get the show out there. And although today will be the day people will check it out, they'll be like, "What the fuck is up with these guys? They're bait and switch. What is that?" But anyways, we'll be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. If any big news breaks or anything cool, I'll definitely jump back on and cover it and invite both of you if you guys are free. But if you're not, oh well, I'll do it by myself. Woo. But bye everyone. Have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
You know you should go.
Come on, let's go.
It's not about spaceships.